What up, Robbie? To be clear, I had zero plans on doing this, so I'm kind of throwing it together last second. So you're going to have to warn me if the audio sucks or something. So what are we thinking? What are we thinking tonight? I would have went live earlier to like waiting room the hell out of this. But literally my day job, I edit. Quite literally video ended. Oh, no. Not unlisted. Not unlisted. Why? I hate that it changes every time. Like every single time you go live, it's like, do you want this unlisted, right? You don't want to immediately go public? Like absolute insanity. But yeah, we'll have to see. We thinking some kill team reveals? Do you think they're gonna we announced the data slate drop. Wild stuff. And then we'll look at some of the things they reveal, because they always post like within a couple minutes. They're always like, here's the physical stuff. Do you think they're gonna try to give us a premiere will begin shortly. Do you think they're gonna try to give us a replacement for the vet guard? I don't even expect Lucia's necessary. Oh, expecting for the Emperor's Children. Dude, if they could return Doom Rider. I know they're not going to do it at this point. I feel like they're not. But if they could hit us with Doom Rider and like new types of bikers or some new thing. Like everyone views the concept of Doom Rider as it's a guy on a motorcycle. What if it's not? What if it's something more ridiculous? And what if the new bikers are also more ridiculous for chaos? I think they could do an EC kill team. I feel like they're going to pick one of the specialists, either like full melee specialists and do like almost the Drakari drug system. Oh, whoa. All right. This is going to be a terrible transition, I think. But here you guys go. I'm going to full screen this, which is going to make it look weird. And then we're going to... Yeah. And then I'm going to go over here. Mute that. We'll kind of turn this up. I want it to be background noise, though. And then we'll see if I get demonetized, which will actually... Music going on, I think we'll... I know too much about the back end of YouTube to know that like I could get absolutely shafted for audio. So I'm just gonna toss my audio back in here. Kind of. They do a lot of previews. They talk about rules. They go across all the systems. Dude, Grey Knights versus NIDS would be peak. It would be peak performance. Especially if the Grey Knights were something like a little more unique than here's 6 Marines. If it was like here's 2 really cool Marines and a bunch of little neophyte people. It's like, oh, that's awesome. Like just give me like an oddity. I always love kill teams that are blends of elites and then regular characters, like just little guys. Like here's some Grey Knights and here's some like weird people that are used by, I don't know, the agents. Oop. This is some like StreamYard ass start, by the way. But yeah, let me turn my volume down, turn these guys up, so we can get hard demonetized by the music that Games Workshop plays us in the background.
Hey folks, and welcome to the
It would, which could, nah, it wouldn't really include Grey Knights. Let me know about audio, guys.
Wonderful new stuff
I can
to
turn it
look
up
at.
a little bit for you guys.
Now, the Las Vegas Open is taking place in Nevada right now as we speak. If you're there at the event,
Speaking of which, if you're at Las Vegas Open right now,
Alex,
the Age of Sigmar,
we do indeed. We've got
the Age of Sigmar story, the narrative, is being run by a channel called, or streamed by a channel called Hobby Collab that I watch occasionally.
Now that I am
so head out and say hi to those guys if you're out there. It's pretty cool. They're a channel that's about my size, but they have like 5 people working on it. I can only imagine having like a network of people to ease my burden. Ooh. The whole ass squad? Yeah, whole ass squad. So straight up Age of Sigmar. Round bases, Age of Sigmar. I do love how they did that, but if it wasn't for me trying to cheapen out on playing Age of Sigmar by using Tzeentch demons because I play Thousand Suns and like Tzeentch stuff, I probably would have gone
That is
undead.
a beautiful box for the Soulblight Gravelords.
It really is.
So this is the Death Rattle army set, and as you can see, it is skeleton heavy.
It is. I bet you're a happy chappy right now.
I am very
Inside
happy.
the box,
Warning to everyone, this is going to be very
White
British.
Lord and or King on the skeletal steed,
You know,
leading the force there. Lots
keeping
of
you
the
guys
new,
appraised.
Barrow Guard and the new Barrow Knights as well. There's 20 Barrow Guard and 5 Barrow Knights in the box. Of course, this box contains the Battle Tome, the War Scroll cards, what you've come to expect. It's really so cool, this box. And Al, tell me about it, man. What's your favourite part of this?
I think it's going to have to be that White King.
He's so cool. We'll come to him in a second. But first of all, who are the Barrow Guard?
Right, so the Barrow Guard, these guys are basically the White King or the White Lord's bodyguard.
Basic
and
designs.
they're slain at the time of his
I like
death,
that they're just straight up like, here's brass armor,
or not,
slightly weathered.
They're then interred with him. So when the
armor.
curse
Brass armor
strikes and
looks
he's
so
risen,
cool.
they come with him.
These are a fantastic set of miniatures. There's 10 models per kit.
I feel like they're using their normal weathering stuff there. They're probably just doing like a different stain. What's up, Arturo?
As you normally can. Now, if you already play Soulblight Gravelords and you have Graveguard
new
in your
situation
force,
for
then
us.
this unit, the Barrow Guard, are simply a replacement inside the book for
You're
that
catching
unit.
it.
So you can use your
We're already at
Graveguard
the top.
models as these.
We were
if you'd
talking
like
about
to. These
Emperor's
ones can be
Children
armed by
earlier.
the sword and the shield, or you
I
can see
think
some at the back there
a
with the
Doom
big
Rider could be
double-handed
cool to
axe as
see,
well.
but we're not
They're
seeing it
really
here.
cool,
If
these
any-
guys.
if like
Super
ever,
armored skeletons.
honestly.
The elite skeletons, is if such a thing is possible. And in game, they can deliver crit mortal wounds with their weapons and protect nearby heroes as well. So elite bodyguards.
I feel like they have to do this though, right? Like if you have banger after banger of release,
Death Rattle units,
like you're setting yourself up for
so
failure.
These guys are basically the nobles of the Barrow.
I don't like the helmets. I get the helmets. I don't like the
So when
helmets.
they've risen,
I understand them. I
retained
will
a little
say
bit more of their
this:
sentience than the average Death Rattle.
Night
So they've
Lord
got some of the little quirks
conversions
from life. So after battle, they have a habit
could
of
be
grabbing
pretty
banners and trinkets
poggers
from the
with these.
battlefield
Although
as
I will tell
trophies.
you that the heads
I
are
like
tiny.
these, basically,
Like if you glue one of these to the head of a Night Lord, it's going to be
this, again, box
mega
set is
tier
5 mods
tiny.
in the
But maybe
box,
like
they make
trimming
a
off some
champion
of
standard
the
in
wing
there
elements.
as well. And again,
Moving
if you've
them
got
around
Black
could be
Knights
kinda
in your
cool.
force already, these are a sort of almost replacement
Maybe the
for
shields?
those. You can
No,
use your Black
shields
Knights
don't
for
have
these,
any
or
wing
use
elements.
these new models if you'd like to as well. Heavily armored cavalry that can protect a local cavalry hero as well, which
Could
is
use
pretty
them as
cool.
cultists.
And they've got a
Nah,
rule called
maybe not.
Cursed to Rise, where you can just bring models back to the unit with no dice rolls required, which is really cool. So
Oh,
these
shit.
guys
No
just
dice
don't
roll
die.
revival?
Again, I guess.
I was impressed
But,
in
who've got
AOS
leading
when I
the
found out
force?
my
Indeed. So
Zangors
this is the
had the
set-piece
ability to
model
get like
from
a
that Death
ton of
Rattle
rally
box.
dice. These
This
guys
is
just
the White
straight up are like,
King. So
I'm
these
back.
guys were the rulers of the Barrow
dead.
Kingdoms, and when they're
I'm
buried,
dead, so
it
of
tended to be
course.
in opulence.
Standard
sarcophagus
issue.
of gold or on a great bone chair, that kind of thing, buried alongside their bodyguards. They were grim, very warlike.
They're doing more with the bases. I like it.
These guys have an awful
They've
lot
been
of
really
will.
pushing
So it
their
takes a very powerful
basing, which
vampire to kind of
I do
take
like.
control
I know a
of
lot
them,
of
as
people
we'll
hate it though
talk
because
about
if they want to make their own base, that is a bitch to get rid of to then do their own base.
Of death rattle skeletons,
unless they make it so you can just glue the character
the king, of course,
to
there
that.
is
Sometimes
they'll
make it so like the brick is attached to a
as well, sort of maybe a lesser rank of a skeleton hero. On the tabletop, the king is a little bit more powerful and can bestow ancient barrow curses upon your enemies.
This guy's definitely not as cool looking as that last giant brute king they made that was straight out of Bloodborne.
Benefits onto cavalry units in
Oh,
your
that
army.
was so much
if you want to
cooler
have an
looking.
of cavalry, this is the guy you want leading it if you wanted it.
Now, these aren't the only leaders coming for the Soulblight Gravelords, are they? Here we are, Prince Vordry, master of the Crimson Keep. Now, Prince Vordry is back from the Age of Myth. He's not been Nagash's favourite the whole time. He was, after a rebellion, he was cursed to basically be bound to the Crimson Keep, which was torn out of time and space, and so it appears randomly across the realms.
Torn up flesh. Oh my god!
As you find out in the Battle Tome, it has been appearing in places Nagash didn't necessarily want it. So there's definitely something going on here. Now, this model is absolutely spectacular.
It's huge as well. It's on a 160mm base, which is monstrous. It's so much bigger than the previous incarnation of the model.
Yep.
I haven't really liked a lot of the old world stuff. I was surprised when they decided to bring it back with how much they were trying to push AOS, but it's one of those situations where definitely I don't think people who are exclusively old world style players give two shits about AOS.
Didn't go particularly well.
Because old world being the whole like flanking and stuff is pretty cool. I like the idea of it. It's
the model being a bit bigger means on the tabletop he's got a little bit tougher. His health's gone up to 18, which makes him even harder to kill than he previously was. But just an incredible centerpiece for your Soulblight collection. But that's not the only model.
The things I'm thinking of doing to him.
If you wanted to, you
but I will never buy that model.
Maybe
my one buddy that plays this army will buy it and be like, "Here's $50."
Zombified dragon, but without a rider on the back.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. So these are fairly rare.
AOS only so far.
Whilst Nagash and Shordmare did attempt to raise a number of them, Grondis and Karazai did not take well to that and hunted them down. And so if you're a vampire
you can
who
just
needs something
straight
incredibly
up
hard-hitting,
get the dragon.
and you go in search of one of these, you best bring a lot of meat, and a lot of willpower to kind of control them. But there's an element whenever they roar, apparently, that is almost.
This is where they announce a 1,000 sun unit that looks like it's riding around on a giant monster.
Cool. I like that.
And I think, wow, that would look cool on that giant dragon.
Fly high. Warhammer players from yesteryear might remember flying high, and this Revenant Dragon can do that off the battlefield and then come down later on, striking down if it wants to, and can keep doing that throughout the game, which is really cool. It's a terrifying thing to face, and we'll come on to the book later on. But I wanted to point out that one of the regiments in the one of the regiments of renown in the Battle Tome is called the Beast of Castle Stenesti, which allows you to take a Revenant Draconith in any death army. So you want one of these in your Ossiarch?
Oh, they'll probably have a screen up with the
Flesh Eaters. You go for it. That's
like,
a really cool thing.
It's that weird feeling of.
That's really
Why are
cool.
you looking over there, buddy?
Right. Well, we mentioned the Battle Tome. Let's have a look at that. What can we expect from the Battle Tome, Alex?
So the Battle Tome is, as we can see from that box set at the start, is highly focused on the Barrow Kingdoms and the Death Rattle Skeletons.
I don't. Okay, so I don't have predictions. I have a wish list.
Army
and top of the wish list, like 90% of Kill Team players.
I love skeletons.
Tyranids.
But yes, so we've got all the background.
Like honestly, Shrikes.
All the armies.
I think they're Shriekers.
One of my favourite parts of it is that it continues
I'm not a
the
Nid
lore
player.
of the vampires and
Surprise.
how the kind of reacted to the Hour of Ruin. Which
I do enjoy them.
The Time of Blood.
And I think they're great
the time of vile
as like
probably
an enemy
because of all
type.
Skaven.
Yeah, the Shrike,
not
the winged warrior.
Fair enough.
Give us like 3 Shrikes and maybe
everything from
some other smaller flying unit to go with them.
Spell laws, everything you might
or
to see.
Just be
What's
like,
really
hey, here's a box of Death Leapers and a
for the
Lictor.
first time
You
in a long
can
time,
buy this team
we've got
now if
new
you
faction
wish.
Terrain and
Prepare for this
manifestations
moment,
for the Soulblight
which
Grave
honestly
Lords.
I might.
But we're not going
If
show
straight
those
up they were
quite
like,
yet. You'll have to
these
watch
are
out
models
for
that are
those
already
in the near
out.
future. There are
Yeah,
4
I've got that team. Let me go.
formations in
Let me
the
go
book,
get them.
including
I almost did that with the Chaos Cults when they were shown off. I already had the cultists. I just needed the bigger characters and the monsters.
Either a vampire or a non-vampire hero. And there's 2 armies, of renown in there. The Knights of the Crimson Keep
100%
and
we need
the
a Nid
Barrow
team.
Legion, your favourite one.
Other on my favorite list would be some
and the 2
form
regiments
of
renown,
Grey Knight team.
One which lets you take that Revenant Draconith, and one which again we're going to keep secret for now. There's more coming on that later on, but yeah.
Honestly, a single custody, like full custody, and then
And
a
also
full
in the Battle
squad
Tome is the
of
new
Sisters of
Spearhead, the
Silence.
Death Rattle Tomb host
That would
box,
also
and
be
those Death
pog.
Rattle
I would
skeletons
love the
once
hell
more.
out of that.
Now, this isn't a
And because that would
replacement for
work
the Blood
directly
Grave,
into
it still
40K, I
just
think
means you're
at
getting
least
an
a
extra spear.
percentage
So
of
it's
players
a
of
second
custodians
spear
would like
for
that.
the
Because
first time.
to my
Let's get
understanding, there is a large
That's implying
cross section
that
of
I've only got
people
one
who
spearhead so far.
look at the custodes
that's what we gave
and are
you.
like,
We've
I
got the
really
new
want
spearhead on the
Sisters
way.
of
It's not
Silence.
going to be
That's
coming
my focus.
alongside
I
the
want
release. It's
that
going
to
to be
be
a little
my
bit
army.
later, so you may have to
And
raise
they
them
just
from
they
dev
don't
a
get
little bit
that.
after the
Like,
release.
they've gotten some
But we've
attachments
also
that
got a novel
improve
from Black Library coming
Sisters,
as well,
but
haven't we?
like
Do indeed. This is the Masters of
it's
Death
not
Omnibus
good.
by
It's
David
just not
Arndale,
amazing.
and it brings
But if they had
together
something
a
unique,
number of his
that'd be really
stories:
cool.
Neferata, Mortarch of Blood, Neferata, Dominion of Bones, Dynasty of Monsters, a Soulblight Gravelord's novel, as well as
Full
three
Skulls.
shorts,
Let's go.
The Threshold, Obsidian, The Dance with Skulls. So this is basically your
I'm
gateway
debating
into
figuring
sort
out
of
how to
the
make
background
a
and
mostly
narrative of the
Flamers
Soulblight.
Disciples of
So,
Zinch
Alex,
army.
speaking of Black Library, it's time to
I
talk
kind
a
of
little
want
bit
that
about
for
this
like
year's
just
Black
infantry
Library
kind of showing up, and then I
celebration.
just chuck down. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Nice. The crossover. Oh, book crossovers just in general. Word. This is our kill team. It's not, but it would be funny. You can't make me.
Now, normally we spend a day celebrating Black Library. This year, we're going to go a little bit further, a bit more time perhaps, and we're actually releasing some really cool models alongside the Black Library celebration and the books that are coming this time as well. First of all, let's have a look at Malaneth Witchblade. What a superb model that is. Alex, who is Malaneth and where's she come from?
So
Hero
Malaneth was
Hammer.
one of the daughters of Cain. She was trained
Continue.
as an assassin. She ended up working for the Order of Azir, and as part of that, ended
My
up
one friend that
accompanying
plays
Gotrek on a number of his
AOS,
adventures. Now, they didn't
he's
get along
all in
great.
on Heroes.
Malaneth
It's fantastic.
attempted to poison him.
Yeah.
But seeing as Gotrek is still roaming the mortal realms,
I'm almost there
that
though.
did not work
Actually, I
out.
can't really
So
be.
despite not
There's
being
really not a lot of
particularly
named
friendly,
heroes
she
in
did come
Disciples.
to sort of have
It's
a
literally
great
just like, here's
respect for
Kairos.
him, and sort of the
Ta-da!
hope he brought
Here's a
to the mortal
changeling.
realms. And this
Done.
is coming alongside the Shade of Cain by Evan Dickin, and we showed that off in the last preview.
It's such a beautiful miniature. It really, really
I can't
is.
even
On
take
the tabletop, it's
Archeon.
actually
My
gonna be
friend
getting
bought
its own
me
Legends,
Archeon
war scroll
as
to
like
use,
a,
in the
hey,
game
thanks
as well,
for
if you'd like
painting
to
a lot of
use,
my stuff.
that model, she excels in
And I was like,
hiding
oh,
inside
sweet.
units and leaping out.
Painted him
Again,
up, got all excited about
Elven
trying to
Assassin,
blend him
fans
into a
from yesteryear
Disciples
might
of Zinch
recognise that
army.
as things
New
happened
edition of
before.
AOS. Can't even do it
Sort
anymore.
of poison
He's
throne
just sitting in
dart
a
she
box
throws at
behind
people
me.
as well. And a great model as well if you want to use an alternative, maybe as
Oh
a
yeah,
Gladiatrix
I
in
imagine
your,
guard
Daughters
players
of
looked at
Cain
that
army.
squad and went, yes,
And
please.
you need to make sure you're
I will
visiting,
buy 4.
Warhammer stores during the Black Library celebration because there'll be some exclusive scenarios to play with her on the tabletop too.
Very cool.
Narrative
So,
games,
that's,
yes.
Malaneth Witchblade coming soon. But also for the Black Library celebration, we have this. This is Hell's Last, a new command squad
Mouse coming
starring
in.
Minka
I do
Lesk
love that
and
one
her
right there.
command squad.
That's baller.
Alex, who is Minka Lesk?
So, Minka Lesk is one of the few survivors of Cadia. She managed to escape, and as a White Shield, she then became a guardsman. So the White Shield is sort of the planetary defense forces of Cadia, and she's risen all the way to captain. And this is coming out at the same time as the novel of the same name, Hell's Last.
Yeah, we've seen that's coming from Justin D. Hill.
Indeed.
We've seen Minka Lesk in other books before. It's the last White Shield omnibus is available as well from Black Library. Do check that out. On the field, she's also getting her own Legends data card to use in game as well, should you want to. But it's also a great collector's box set to
That
just
does look
paint
really
up.
good.
And if you wanted to,
Do you
use
think the
alternative
banner is
images,
going to
Minka Lesk
be
would make it
just a
great
flat
sort of
banner,
alternative
or is it
Castellan
going to
if you're
actually
watching
have
Time
like
Force.
inlay?
I mean, that's Commissar Shand. That would make a great alternative Commissar
Dude,
for if you wanted to
that's
as well.
their
So it's
last
a really
trailer.
beautiful
It's, yo,
box
we're going
set
back.
to get painting on.
Now,
Let's go to that
going from
asteroid
the 41st
field.
millennium,
Make it work
we're
again.
going, to the old
Here
world.
comes your old world. Here you go, buddy. Ooh. I mean, I get it. I did like the Bone Kings or whatever they were, one of the first ones to come back for Old World. I liked how they looked. I almost bought a few of them to use as Mutilate Vortex Beasts because those were still out of stock in the U.S. No new orcs yet. We're on some elves. With their cone head pointy hats. Classic. This is elves, right? It's an Elrats. I'm not losing my mind. Am I losing my mind? They just did humans. Oh yeah, elven magic.
So the High Elf realms return to the old world.
See, they look
Starting off
cool,
with that wonderful battalion
but then
box
the
that you've
only
seen
thing I
for
can
other
think
releases.
of
It's jam-packed
is
full
the
of
fact that
troops.
in
You've got
AOS,
32
I believe it's the
32
elves
archers,
that
and
have
those 2
that
Tyrannoc
giant
chariots. Now,
tree with a
they can be
fountain
built in
that
an
if you put a
alternate
You're
sorcerer in
right.
it,
The Tyrannoc chariot
it
is one
now
pulled
is a
by the
tank?
horses. At the
And
front
that
is
is
the one
weird.
pulled by the lions is the White Lion chariot of Shrace as well.
Oh,
a bit
thanks.
more brutal option. But yeah, the High Elves
No
are a
dragon
beloved
here.
faction in the
They don't
whole
get a
world. And it's
dragon.
great to see
We
them
already
coming
saw a dragon
back.
earlier.
They are as elite as it gets when it comes to forces like this. So all their models are just better than yours, basically. And the elves like telling you about it as well. Yeah, this battalion force is a great way to start an army. It's not just the only thing that's coming alongside the High Elf Realms release, though. There's loads of other
He isn't
plastic
lying, by
models
the way.
coming,
If you're
which is
looking to get into
what we
any of
got, man.
these,
We've
and they
got
put it,
the
oh, there you go.
Lordon Dragon. These are the White
Ta-da,
Lions of
dragon.
Trace. We've got the Swordmasters of Hoeth, the Illyrian
If you're
Reapers,
looking to
Eagle
get into
Killed
any of
Bolt
these
Throwers, because,
games,
well, use gun
battle
powder, and this
forces
is
and
so
battle
reliable.
boxes,
Well, those are a
that's
few
how
of our
you do
favourites,
it.
right?
It's
But there is loads
always
more.
slightly
I'm sure
cheaper
you'll
than
see some
buying all the
pictures
units
on our
separate.
community website if you want to go and check those
And
out. But basically,
if you're
if
a
it was
betting
in
man,
plastic before,
you're a
you
betting
can pretty
man,
much get hold of it now.
sometimes if you
So
wait
High Elf
long
fans are
enough,
gonna be really
some
happy
of the
about that. Now,
third-party
there's loads
markets
of miniatures
for
people
these
recognise
things
from yesteryear, of
drastically
course, but there
lower
are
the
some
prices
models
on
coming
them
alongside
to
the
try
release
to
too, right?
offload them
There
on
are
people.
indeed. The first is a Shire Vest, the
So
Sentinel of the
if
Silent Isle. This is
you
basically one of the Sea
think
Lord's most
no one's going to
capable
care
and
about this
long-serving
battle
warriors. She's been
force,
trusted with the coastal
you don't have
garrison
to
of the
buy it
Silent
right
Isle,
away.
and she's ascended through the ranks through
And
years
then
of
you can buy
dedicated
it.
service.
I will say,
You
though,
imagine
pretty
the
much
elves
everything
are
Kill
quite
Team
the
that drops that's
meritocracy,
new,
and she
100%
spent
getting
most
sold
of the
out.
recent years,
All of it,
hunting
instantly.
for Norse
I can also
raiders 'cause they've
guarantee
been
you
more
that whenever the
active.
Emperor's
Oh, that's really
Children
cool. I like the fact she's carried a tribal
pre-orders go
called
live,
Empire, which is great. To
we're going to have problems. Like, I want an Emperor's Children army, but all I can think is I might have to wait a year.
So,
Like,
Shrace is the
genuinely, I
land of
might have to wait a
mountains and
year
forest
just because all the
since the
pre-orders are going to be
invasion of
just
Chaos,
sold out.
has basically
I'll be
been
lucky to get
plagued
like a
by
small
horrible
handful of
beasts.
things.
And so basically part of their ritual is you need to go out and hunt one of the white lions, and you're not deemed to be a true warrior of Trace without having captured and killed one of these lions, and they tend to bring back the pelts.
That is
So if you're
Custodians'
a
as hell
lord
right
from
there, by
Trace,
the way. The
you're
lion
gonna have one
pelt.
of these.
and a giant axe as well.
Oh, yes.
Not previewed, no.
Have one of those too.
They've only shown
now,
us
let's have a quick chat about the Arcane Journal, because
Fulgrim,
those two
Jesus.
characters are quite
Fulgrim
relevant to
and
the book
Lucius's
coming alongside
silhouette,
it.
which we might see.
This is, as other players will know,
Maybe.
an in-depth look at the
up,
history
Ben?
of the High Elves and the stories of their forces and full
good
rules
to
on
see
how to
people
use their
popping
armies
out.
outside of the forces of fantasy they will all have.
I
in
do
that
stream
book, right?
during the
What
day.
can
We do
you
talk
tell
about the game,
background that's in the
So,
book?
but
yeah.
I
This
imagine
book,
not a lot of people
as
can
we've seen
get out to those. It is at
releases,
weird
the elves
times.
tend to focus
Try to
on
hobby it
Ultron.
up.
However, this Arcane Journal
Working on a
focuses
Fulgrim
more
right
on
now.
their last few holdings in the old world. A lot of
I'm
their
holding off though. We're probably not going to stream them again for a little bit. I ordered the batteries
sort of
so
army
we can light them
formation in
up.
this, and we
Oh,
think
it's
of
gonna
like
be so good.
elite expeditionary forces. There's some stories from Corhill Lionmane and the White Lions of Trace as they venture into Bretonia to basically.
I love that
hunt
as
down
they're
some
saying
beastmen,
these things, like these fantasy
without
terms,
permission.
If I wasn't looking at the subtitles,
tomfoolery going on in there,
I would think
but
they
it's-
were
it's a
lying to
wonderful
me.
read.
Because you just said
two Arms of
the
Infinity
of
you
Trace,
mentioned there.
and
The
then
first
Trace
one
is spelled
the
CH.
Seaguard Garrison. This is an all-modern army and includes a Shire Vest there, of course, and not to mention lots of different ways to build your models and different ways to represent things like
My favorite
ship's
thing about this
company,
hobby.
or that sort of thing.
Made
And
up
the other
words.
army is the Tracian War Host. That's the one that's led by the Corhill
CH
Lionmane, who
pronounced
is on the
as
way, but
T.
not shown quite yet. And also the model we just saw as well, which represents a High Elf noble with the Shracian Hunter's honor, which is quite cool. That's why he carries his big axe, which is nice.
I would think it was
also
pronounced
inside the book you can
Trace,
find historical
but it's
scenarios, a
Trace.
refight of the Battle of Chalons as Corhill
Oh,
leads his forces
there it's
against the
pronounced
Beastmen.
sh.
And brand new units, brand new
Good.
units are in that book. Some which will have models which we haven't seen yet, but also quite a lot which show you how to sort of construct your plastic models in a different way. Actually, the book tells you how to convert models into things like Thracian huntsman or woodsman or ship's company, that sort of thing. It's a really cool sort of like a conversion guide in there. It's really, really great.
AOS is super fun as well.
So there we go.
Oh, dude, I
talking
I
of
put
cool
up the
armies.
the British warning earlier on. It
Armies
was
on
going to
Parade.
happen. Ooh, painting.
It's that time to start talking about Armies on Parade
Okay,
again this year.
Ultramarines.
And
Already?
it is indeed.
Okay.
We are happy to announce that Armies on Parade
Nice.
is coming back again for 2025.
Ooh.
This is the 15th year of Armies
15th
Parade.
year. I actually entered its first ever year. That's made me feel really old.
Okay, just keep going. Yeah,
First
just
Ultramarines. So it's great to have Armies on Parade back again. Of course, this is the Games
nice.
Workshop's premium army painting competition.
Indeed.
So if you want to take part in that, it's happening.
I've always
It's a
wanted
great
to do one
deadline
of
to
those
get
where it's like a
forces to
big
take part as
portrait.
well
Oh, yes.
before, yeah.
Probably the last 5 years I've made sure to do something.
We've got the new categories coming this year. We've sort of made the categories a bit simpler to make sure people can understand what they're going to be. You can enter as a solo entrant. Paint an army yourself yourself, basically. Young bloods for our younger hobbyists. And
Young bloods.
This time we've got a team category as well, so you can enter a team. Maybe want to get all of us Warhammer Plus guys together and paint one together. Maybe we could do that. You never know.
That's a challenge.
Cool. That's a challenge. But yes, we've got Armies on Parade happening this year. Dates and the exact timings of what's going to happen.
I have
this year,
wanted
when
to
you
do
get
an
stuff
Armies on
painted by
Parade
will be coming on the
board.
community website. So,
but I don't
check that
know.
out
I
as soon as
don't
we
like
can.
when
I'm
it's
thinking
just
of
like
small
a
things this
board
year.
with
This is gonna
your
be
army
a
sitting
very
on
fun
it.
go for
I think it just kind of looks like
Sure,
whatever.
go for a bit
I
of
would
change.
want to do something big and ridiculous, which
Right,
would mean
we've
I
got
would be
something else to show
buying
you now.
models to not play with them because they'd be this is normally a background used for kill. Oh no, this is Necromunda. Is it? Yeah, it's Necromunda. I love these guys. I use these as my cultists. I have 30 of them. They all have different colored flags on their backpacks to represent the different squads. Necromunda terrain is awesome because that's modular. If it's still the same system they had before. Ooh. Oh, wait. Oh, no, don't do this to me. Are you about to show the Patriarch from the new team? Okay, the upgrade sprues. Good. Oh, no, they're just doing Tribes of the Wastelands. Okay. I don't play Necromunda. I have watched some wild games. If you're massive into narrative games, Necromunda. Like, I actively watched a brand new player go, all right, I'm firing a grenade at this team. And then the way he rolled ended in the guy firing the grenade and the 3 people near him all dying.
Their scouts, trackers,
Because
hunters,
it blew up in the
that sort of
barrel,
thing.
and then
They're
everyone
very
rolled
much
poorly
in
on their
touch
wound
with
chart.
sort of the beasts of the wastelands as well. So you can see that all of their weapons tend to be like Helamite claws that have been strapped on, that sort of thing. They're very sort of old school and in touch with
Yeah, they make
the
great
wastes
cultists,
themselves.
though.
I love this sort of like weird mystical
The
tribalism.
nomads, they make fantastic cultists
These
for
are
chaos.
elite
If
gang
you're like a
fighters for
desert-themed
Ashwaste
army
nomads,
like I am.
Gangs. They've got a really cool ability.
And they cost the same,
called
which is
Wasteland
fantastic.
Ambushes. If you're playing a game in the Wastelands, kind of like a trapdoor spider, they just wait in like in a burrow and just ambush out halfway through the game, which is quite good fun. They're completely combat focused. They don't even have access to pistols on their equipment list, which is so just all about combat. And they're just
And now
wonderful,
you
wonderful
do.
miniatures. You can take a few of those in your gang if you'd like to, as gang
For
fighters.
those who are in Kill Team are like,
absolutely
I don't
wonderful
like how
things to paint as well. It's
not
really nice to see the Ashwaste nomads being fleshed
not
out like
adaptable
this.
it is, how I
But
can't
Alex, they're
create
being
like
accompanied
special
by these
units.
Weird little
This
Alphamite
is the
spine
game.
worms.
You can
So these
make
things are
big
really
units in
seen,
this game.
by
You can be like, all
outsiders,
right, I want this guy to have 2
accompanying
claws.
the
I want this guy to be
nomads.
double
So they've
daggered. I want this
adapted really
crate
well
like
to survive in
this.
Necromunda's toxic environment.
This
and they're
is
incredible burrowers.
like
They'll go
this is
through
where you should go.
Sand,
It's
ash,
not
rock,
as
flesh,
competitive, I would say. It
there
is
their barbed
highly
fangs, which they
narrative,
dig into
but
something
honestly, the
nigh
more
impossible to get
customization
rid
you
of.
apply to a
And
game, the
their
more it
saliva
pushes it
contains an
into a
anticoagulant, so once they
narrative
bit
experience,
down,
I think.
that blood's going to keep flowing.
Ugh, these things are horrible. They are sort of essentially pets that you can take as equipment for your Shadar hunters. Each fighter could have up to 2 of them.
Moab
if you
Deep.
really want to take that many, you ought to. They have the burrowing thing you talked about. They can burrow in the game as well. They can just burrow through impossible
No,
terrain.
yeah,
Like
they
wasn't
they're
even there, just
great
mashing their
models.
way
They're hard
through
as hell to
walls,
put
which is
together.
really, really
Like
cool.
these are the kind of models where you have
So
to like glue the
wonderful models there
fingers
as
to the
well.
hand. It's
But
insane.
also coming alongside these
But,
is the Nomad
pretty solid.
weapon upgrades.
Nice.
Okay, we've got a lot of guns and a lot of stuff in here. What have we got, man?
Yes, very rusty. You can see a lot of blast
But yeah,
carbines,
these are
heavy
basically
blasters,
those
web pistols, web guns,
those Star
and
Wars
to be
characters, the
scavenged auto-gunners. They don't obviously have
like
manufacturing
just standing on
facilities of their own.
dunes, friggin' freaking out.
That's right. These are basically
guys.
completing all the weapon options for your Ashwaste Nomads gang. So there's weapons in there that you may
There's
not be
other
able to get
people
hold of
sleeping
before.
here, so I
Now
don't
you
wanna
can.
actually
This
do
is
the
your complete
full-blown
equipment list, but it
donkey
also
noises.
contains things like extra heads, shoulder pads, sky mantles. So it's
Yeah.
not just weapons; it's basically
They're
a
very
conversion
Tusken
box for
Raider-y.
your, and a customization box for your Ashwaste Nomad gang. You want to get hold of this if you possibly can. But all of this, of course, is coming alongside the Tribes of the Wastelands book.
Oh.
Is
I thought they were about to
indeed.
just chuck something
This
else
is
at me.
basically your house
So
book for your
Necromunda
Ashwaste
released
nomads.
these
However,
like
it's not
mutated
told
gene
from their point
stealers.
of view, so nobody's
I used
really spoken
one
to the
squad of
nomads
them
before.
as a gene
So this
stealer
is told
squad.
by an
Then they released a
outsider,
gene stealer that's half gene
basically
stealer, half
describing things. So all the terms
abominant.
we have for the nomads
That's
are,
my patriarch.
well, they come from people who aren't the
Supposedly,
nomads
we will
themselves.
eventually
And it
get
talks about the 3
an
sort of
actual
sub-factions,
patriarch,
the
and it's
yellow
gonna look
nomads, etc.
ridiculous. So I
and
kind of
it
wanted to get
details a
it,
lot
but
of
I
the
do really like
beasts,
the
Helamites.
patriarch abominant I
It also
have, since I
describes their
run the Gene
electrostatic
Stealer cult
weaponry, because they tend
detachment
to avoid
that
machines,
is all about Gene Stealers
this
and
is a really
abominants,
good
and
way
that's
to
like it.
Stop any machine. So Why
it
would
looks
you
really
not
nice.
ride on various beasts?
They'll
They
also
do have an
try to
ad mech
hunt
character,
down
though,
those
that's
beasts and
been
stop them and shock them with
converted,
static
we'll
things
say,
so
by
you can fall over
Tyranid,
and can
that I
capture them
kind
to
of want to
ride on
get,
them,
but
which
he's
is
like
perfect.
$60 for
Inside the
one
book,
model
you can find lots
that
of
I would
rules that
literally
rogue cards
only
mentioned there have
use
been expanded upon.
probably
Nomads get
for
their
a
very own trading
Biophagous,
post as
and that's
well,
it.
which is great. Lots of strange and exotic items on there. There's 2 themed scenarios for people to play, as well as hired guns, hangers-on, dramatis personae, everything you'd expect from a house.
Those
book
exosuits look
right
crazy.
here
Those
for
exosuits
the
look
Ashways
like
Nomads.
something
So
out of a
if you're
Nickelodeon
Nomads player,
animated
you want
series.
to get your cowled hands on these.
Oh yes, but that's not all that's coming for Necromunda.
Okay.
There are also some terrain kits.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
This is the Satos pattern fortified.
No, yeah,
hat
we've already
module.
seen all this. So this should be
is
modular with the
basically,
stuff that already exists for the
really
Ash Waste.
nice
It looks about the
armoured,
same in size.
I'd say a little safer.
But this is what I'm
now
talking
than the
about in
last.
narrative. Those
You can see
guns,
there, it's got those
actual.
turrets on top.
You can probably move
Now,
them
it
around or
doesn't come
disconnect
with any
them too.
rules for those,
Because
does
there
it?
looks like a Sposon on the other
it's got
side.
a
It's
super
literally
grenade
so when you
launcher,
set up the
heavy
map,
stabbers
you can be
that
like, all
mount
right,
on
I
the
don't
sides
want
of
grenade
players,
launchers
decide
here,
how they
or I
want to use
do
these.
want a
If they want
harpoon
to,
launcher,
you can
and
upgrade
it's
to towers
narrative.
if
It
you really
has
want, but
rules.
there's every
You get a
chance that those
character
might
to
fall
it,
into
you
the
can
hands of the enemy,
activate
so
it,
maybe
and
not worth
use it,
spending the creds
and
on
watch
them
it
there.
blow up in your
But
face
it's
and
just a
kill
really
you,
cool
like that kind of
upgraded
stuff.
version of the Thatos Pattern hab models we've seen before. To have those extra bits on top of it is a really
There's
nice
probably even
addition to
built-in
your
rules and
collection
chances
to,
for
sort
parts
of
of
make
that
your
terrain to
Outland
collapse on
settlement
itself.
look a
Like,
little
there's
bit- well, you
actual
say
rules in the
safe,
game
it's still the
for,
Ash Waste,
hey, the
right?
floor above you just collapsed.
That's not all the terrain we've got coming. There's
Roll
also
dice
the,
and see who dies.
Zone Mortalis ruins, the ruined Underhive sector
looks
here
cool.
as well.
I do like
This
this.
is essentially 3 sets of the existing ruined Zone Mortalis.
I don't like how they
sets
have
come
it
together into one box,
in
bundled together
its
to make it
position
really easy to purchase.
right
and, how
now.
many do you
It
reckon you're
doesn't
gonna
look
get?
great.
Ooh, at
I
least
do like that
'cause
stuff.
I think just with one set you can get a nice Necromunda board.
Yeah.
But if you got 2 sets, you'd have multiple layers and
It's
it's
like a
beautiful.
dream board, isn't it? And imagine,
I feel like every
1,000
Necromunda
players
player
as well.
wants to
140,000
build a
as well would be
3-story
great.
board.
So, yeah, those are coming. Those are coming.
Like
soon.
almost all the ones I talked to are like, yeah, I built
there we
I built part of a
Right,
hive
so
city,
looking
3
a bit
stories. It's like,
further
oh.
into the future. We've got Kill Team, which is going to be continuing to get boxes throughout
No, yeah,
the year.
you need
Underworlds,
a-
as we saw,
a
got a
GM
brand new
or
edition. We
however
showed
you
a
wanna
little
put that for
roadmap
a game.
few months ago.
The narrative one they ran
That's
at the
gonna
store,
continue
there
to
was a
get
guy
releases
that
going
only
forward.
played
Middle-earth,
a squad as sort
just
of
got a
like
brand new
almost like
release.
the NPC
Horus
enemies
Heresy.
that would
Now,
occasionally pop up.
Heresy Thursdays are back.
They're back.
Keep an eye on Warhammer
Yes.
Community
Heresy
for more information.
Thursdays.
There's models, there's information
My folder
coming up.
model
It's
is from Heresy.
brilliant.
I love it
Black
so
Library
much.
Celebration,
It's so
as we said,
expensive.
is coming
but
up in
it's
February.
So cool
Warcom
looking.
is going to have news for all of those.
I'm having so much
of
fun
the old
building them.
world. Now, we've seen a whole host of stuff come out for the old world.
We going back?
And we've just shown off the High Elf realms. And if you've been keeping track, based
have.
on
Yeah.
what we showed off, there are 2 more factions to come.
Yeah.
The Beastmen Brayherds and the Wood Elf
Oh,
So we can confirm they are on the way. Yes, they are in the. They're in the.
those who are
near to
uninitiated,
soon
they
future,
pulled the Beastmen
for old world
from
players.
Age of
And
Sigmar.
there may be other stuff coming as well.
That's
which
kind of
we
sad,
won't know
actually, that
about.
they're like,
So,
hey, they're gonna go to Old
yeah,
World.
no.
outside of the tabletop.
Yep.
We also have something to reveal for Space Marine 2. So
Oh.
last year we saw
Game
Space
news,
Marine 2
everyone.
come out,
For those of you who
we've all
might
had
be
an
here
immense
from
amount of
my
fun.
playing
other
it, man.
thing
I'm
that
like
I
level
do.
22 on PvP right now. I love this game so much.
The
There are
PvP is
over
not great in this
5
game.
million
Really?
players,
Not like
Wow.
which of
in-depth
course
great.
means that
It's like it used to
Players
be.
and Saber have all
Which
the
is
more
kinda
reason
fun.
to continue
I really
to
want
keep
them to bring
developing
back
game.
the
We've seen new weapons, enemies,
friggin'
maps,
Dreadnought
skins,
mode, though.
and now there's going to be
Dreadnought was so
another
good.
PvP game mode, new PvE
Well,
maps,
Dreadnought
more
mode?
cosmetics for various chapters,
It's fantastic.
and we can reveal that the next enemy that you're going to get to destroy is the Tyranid Biovore.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
nice.
Like, I can't wait to hit that thing with a chainsaw and execute it and get my health back. It's such a wonderful game to play, and I know folks watching it will have played it a lot. And Bioware's coming soon, as well as all of that cool extra stuff. It's going to be a good year for Space Marine 2
It
players.
is
It really is.
indeed, but it is also a good year for Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
Okay.
So, we showed off from the last preview Auric War Clans and Gloomspite Gits. This time we've shown off the Soulblight Gravelords and the Path to Glory book for narrative players.
Please tell me Disciples of
However,
Tzeentch. It won't be
there's
Disciples
some
of
more
Tzeentch.
stuff
Please tell me
coming.
Disciples of
We've got
Tzeentch.
the Ideneth Deepkin and the
Yep.
Night Haunt coming,
yeah.
fairly soon.
Fan
Well,
favorite
they're
Ideneth because they're
notoriously
the
very
only
fast
army you
moving,
can
so
go like
hopefully they'll
6
be here quite
sharps
soon.
and have a full army.
Both those forces.
And Night Haunt
But that's
is
not all as
stomping
well, because
people.
a bit further on the horizon, well, we're
That's
going to tell
corn?
you what's coming. We're just going to show you some cryptic pictures, and hopefully you can work out what's going on there. I got a
Nurgle.
good idea
Oh my
about
god.
2 out of
I'm
the
pretty
3.
sure
What
Corn,
about you?
Nurgle,
Reckon?
and
Maybe 3.
Maybe 3.
I
All right.
think think plenty of people at home will be able to figure out what these are, given a bit of time.
Yeah,
What is,
absolutely.
no,
You've got a
Middle's
good
not
idea what
Nurgle.
you think
Middle's
those are gonna
is
be.
Middle the
Just
one
fire in
those
the
like
comments
flying
down below,
dwarfs?
see what you think. And of course, even further out,
Yep.
What are you doing
we're
to
going to be
me?
even more cryptic. no idea what that could be, but we want to hear your guesses for sure.
It's a silhouette.
It's definitely a thing. Let us know what you think that's going to be. But there's more for Warhammer 40,000 coming too, right?
Indeed. So, as we said before, last time we showed off the
This better not be
Eldari,
your
Death
limit
Lord
here.
Krieg, and at Christmas, we revealed Fulgrim.
Now, Fulgrim, of course, is not just a great model in himself, but is also the herald of the Emperor's Children coming. We've been teasing you guys for a long time. The Emperor's Children are on the horizon very, very shortly.
I don't know why you guys put him in the Screamer Killer position,
Yeah,
but I'm glad you put out an $100 more model for me to pick up.
The Thousand Suns. However, just a little bit further in the future, we also have, again,
more stuff.
4 more cryptic releases.
Yeah.
Salamanders, not bad.
Release 2 of those.
That's Chaos Knights.
On the horizon. And
Finally.
Again, what's even further out?
Which is weird. Oh,
I have no idea what that could be.
I think it's a Lictor.
It could be 2 Votan warriors stood on each other's heads.
Wait, no, what the hell is this?
It could be, again, let us know what you think it could be.
It's thin. It looks like it's wearing a cloak.
Now, we just talked about the Emperor's Children there.
Yes.
We didn't say Fulgrim, we said the Emperor's Children. And we've been teasing you guys out there for an awful long time. I think it's time to have a look.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, holy shit. Let's go. We pogging out. What if this is the kill team too? Oh. I'm so glad I bought all of those punk rock heads, because I actually don't like those helmets. Why are they all cone headed? Oh, I know why they're all cone headed, but I'm so glad I bought all those other heads. Lord Exultant. A cacophony. Oh, here we are, Lucius. New Lucius looks pretty good. Looks alright. Looks a little bit like, why is the name escaping me? Oh my god, why is the name escaping me? Baby Spile, there it is.
Okay, they're here. It's finally time to talk about the Emperor's Children. You guys have been waiting. Let's go for it. Now, at Christmas, we showed off Fulgrim, the demon Primarch of the Emperor's Children, of course.
Screamer Killer Patriarch.
What a Christmas gift that was for all of us. Alex, for those not in the know, who is Fulgrim? Why they're important?
So, Fulgrim was the demon Primarch of the Emperor's Children.
I kind of want to turn the lights on.
And basically, where he once pursued perfection and mastery, he's now become the embodiment of obsession. He shed his mortal form and has basically become this demonic entity. He's spent most of his time, both in the warp and in real space, desperately trying to seek out new sensations and experiences, occasionally returning to wreak havoc, not to mention some Primarch in blue.
We're not going to talk about that. It doesn't appear in the Ultramarine records. It's just the most stunning miniature. I've seen it up close as well. It's just beautiful and huge, and just what a centerpiece that's going to be for a table. And yeah, long awaited return for Fulgrim to the 41st millennium. On the gaming table, as you can imagine, Fulgrim is an absolute monster. Will cut down swathes of enemies with their malefic lash, demonic blades, and serpentine tail, just causing havoc. They can issue demonic poisons on the battlefield. I'm told that they once poisoned my Primarch at some point. We won't talk about maybe on the battle. You can do that too, and you can choose demonic powers each battle round, much like other Primarchs can do as well. And one of those is that they can always fight first, which is just incredible.
Yes.
As a heads up,
so you've seen their Fulgrim
from Battle Report had a one-on-one Fulgrim versus Angron just before Christmas, and Fulgrim won all 3.
My Fulgrim.
I mean, it was just great. So there we go, Fulgrim on the way.
So
monstrous on the table and long awaited. You've got to get your paintbrush on that one. But
the noise marines seem a little basic.
Set we've seen as well. And
like these kind of. I like the backpacks on a few of them.
Includes
definitely nailing the ones on the bottom right look kind of like the cacophony. I like that.
First up is the Lord Exalted.
Top left. So these are the noise marine
Lord
ones.
Choice comes out in second. You've got a unit of
the regular marines just feel like a sprue
battle
upgrade.
line units, the Infractors, who are the combat unit, and of course
I get what they're supposed to be, because they're supposed to be like melee heavy.
Sonic weaponry.
So they're showing you the close range variant, which has a lot of daggers, and then the top right it was bolters and plasma guns to show that they have that kind of adaptability between like regular guns and then
why do they have
Melee?
the coolest cloak going in the 45
We're gonna have to
million?
see the statting.
So these guys basically
But I
embody
think the
everything
helmets
that
are kind of
Emperor's
mid.
children are. They
Like
are
the helmets and
desperately
heads on a lot of
seeking,
them are
more
kind of
experiences.
mid. Lucius is
sensation
okay,
in all
though.
its forms.
I'm probably gonna
They've
grab a
had loads of
Lucius.
various surgeries and stims to basically enhance their sensory abilities. Basically receiving signals that would drive anybody else insane. But it does give them rather special abilities, even for a space marine. So, they can detect an assassin in the breeze, even the faintest trail of fuel use somewhere else. They can feel the vibrations in the floor for approaching enemies. They're just incredible combatants.
They're just so cool. And the actual model itself here as well has loads of options as well. So it's a multi-part kit. You can have a Phoenix Power Spear, Mastercrafted Power Sword, or something called a Screamer Pistol, which is like a pistol version of a sonic weapon, which is really cool. You can
I
have
get
a Rupture
the
Lash,
opulence of the
or a
leader. I
plasma
kind of like
pistol
that
as well, or
backpack
Power
with
Fist.
the giant
This comes with
Slanesh
loads of
symbol on
options,
it.
head options, icon options. There's loads of things you can do with this model. And in the game, you're talking about sort of like trying to find those big experiences. Once per battle, they can go into euphoric strikes mode and just try and experience.
I do like the
everything
Noise
against
Marines.
super
I think the Noise Marines are
combat,
okay.
which is just
Now,
great.
they're not as
So
cool
wonderful
as
miniature,
what I
great
remember
tabletop.
of the
But they
Horus
lead
Heresy
the forces, and
Cacophony.
we'll start off talking
The
about the
Cacophony
Tormentors.
were
These are
so
sort of like your
cool.
sort of battle line unit with bolt guns.
Like
Tell
every
me about these
element
guys
of their
as well.
armor
So,
was
yeah,
like a
these
giant
guys are the
speaker system.
tactically-
It was so great.
These guys are tactically flexible. They tend to fight at range. They see themselves as sort of exemplars of what a space marine should be.
Yeah.
Like they take a look at the loyalists and think.
By the way, my color scheme
Not even
is
close.
going to be
They've
classic
got an awful lot of pride.
Emperor's
and
Children,
they basically
not pink and
have
black.
a habit of assigning themselves
Well, okay.
missions and targets, and most generals kind of
There's
think of
gotta be a
that
way
as
for me to do
an
this.
acceptable cost for having them on their side.
Where I can
They
transform
hate
this
performing
thing and
basically
not
what they would see as
screw anything
tedious
over.
tasks, so they don't like guard duty.
The Fulgrim color scheme is
There's
my
the kit itself is
color
just
scheme,
jam-packed
which
full of
is
options, different heads,
glowing
different
pink
shoulder pads. We've
ground,
seen a
which
few of
makes
these
their
options
legs
shown
and lower
sneakily off on
bodies
the
glow
Warhammer Community
pink.
website over the
And
last
then
few
as
months.
it gets into the
But
upper body,
this is
it
the
looks
final
like
kit
their
here in front of
classic
you.
armor.
On the
Purple
tabletop there,
with
your
gold trim.
OC2 battle line unit.
Yeah, pink and
cosmic
black
objectives.
is
They can
the
even
standard
defile
of the new
objectives.
colors,
Don't think
but
about
I'm
it,
gonna
but
go
they can
old
sticky
colors
objectives, basically.
with a reminiscence
They are
of
infiltrators. They
the
can
new
actually sneak forward
colors
before the battle begins,
in the form of like
which is
the
great.
glowing
So
world that
expect
they're on.
serious board control from these guys. Just great miniatures, really are. And alongside those are the combat units, the Infractors.
Yeah, so this is they get
tell
the
me about these
beaky
guys.
helmets.
These guys
People
are all
really
about
like
getting
beaky
up close and
helmets.
personal. They sort of live for the thrill of combat.
It's almost
and they
like
tend to dose
they're
themselves up
pretending
on
to be
toxins
Raven
and
Guard.
stims basically to elevate that sensation.
I hate that head.
And there's a wonderful term in the Codex which is called murderous orchestra. Which is just it's almost like killing as an art form.
I love these guys. In game terms, they are scouts. They start
They
the
feel
game a bit
really
further forwards,
old with their
but also
armor.
the
Like, they feel
movement
like
7 on the
old
battlefield.
models.
You'll find that just
Like-
about everything in the army is
like
faster
fifth
than
edition
Space Marines are.
models, almost.
And they have precision on their weapons as well. So enemy heroes beware.
Dude, precision?
Just beautiful models, and they're
I love
so
precision.
fast, you
Precision
might not even
doesn't
need to put them in a
like
line.
people don't take it
You
as
might
much
not
as
to.
they probably
Okay,
should
so
in
also in the
40K.
army set are 2 squads of Noise Marines.
Okay, so these guys look
These guys
okay.
are again
Not as
beloved,
cool as the
and we've seen them
Cacophony.
before,
I'll pull
but
stuff
who are
up
the
when
Noise
this is all
Marines? The
done.
special cult of the Emperor's Children.
After the fact.
So they're basically
chat.
champions of Slanesh that desire the experience of sound, and they want to have it to the extreme. So they've various stims, and they've had grafted organs. Some of them have
well, it
Xenos
depends.
origin,
So
to
older
allow
Space
them
Marines
both
are
to
smaller,
hear
which
sound
most
better,
of I think
also to
Chaos
emit
is at
it.
this point.
They've got various warp mutations.
Like the
and
bigger
they
Space
carry
Marines is
weaponry
more of like
that can
a
emit, say,
specific
really
thing for the
powerful
Space
bass
Marine
tones
faction.
that'll shatter bones, horrifying metallic screeches that'll make your head explode.
And then just like
Really,
generalizations
sound
of
is their
Death
jam.
Guard being
This
big.
is so Slaneshi. I absolutely love these guys. There are 6 models in the box, of course, the blessed number of Slanesh.
I wanna figure
They are
something
bigger
out
and
here.
tougher than other Marines. Think Havoc equivalents from Chaos Space Marines. And they carry all manner of sonic weaponry. Sonic blasters are the sort of standard gun, as it were. And they also carry these blast masters, which can be tuned to different frequencies to destroy armored targets or to rupture the eardrums of numerous hordes. They're just the coolest models, led by the Disharmonist there,
Oh, no.
their leader, who's got amplifiers on his shoulders, as they all have. Just the coolest box. And there's 2 units of them in the army deal as well. So do get hold of that. But the army set isn't the only thing that's coming for the Emperor's Children. Let's have a look at some more. And of course, one of the most famous heroes for the whole Chaos faction, Lucius the Eternal. Tell me about this
Lucius
guy.
does look
So
really
Lucius the Eternal, he likes to think he's the best swordsman in existence. He's basically one of the greatest champions of the Emperor's Children, and he seeks out equal paragons amongst enemy forces. So he'll hunt down your characters, your blade masters, that sort of thing. He basically wants to test his skills. However, He has not always succeeded, but should he be struck down, if you take even a minuscule moment of satisfaction in your kill, you will turn into Lucius.
He says this, but there's a
And your
direct
face
story
will
that
be
proves it
resplendent
wrong.
on his armor for all eternity. Now, the armor is sort of a double-edged sword in this regard, because every face on it is obviously somebody that he's not killed, and that wounds his pride more than anything, and has kind of driven him a little bit insane. He holds an awful lot of contempt for everyone and everything.
Hal Slaneshi, I love this miniature. It's incredible, and you can really tell sort of the pride and arrogance really coming across on it. On the battlefield, they are an incredibly skilled fighter. They use their Blade of Lair and the Lash of Torment to subdue hordes of enemies, which is cool. He's actually a lone operative, but can still join units. But when he fights alone, he is just better, because he fights alone. Basically, don't let this fighter anywhere near your warlord, because he's going to kill it, which is great. Absolutely brilliant model. Alongside Lucius, we also have the elite unit, the Flawless Blades.
Indeed.
Tell me about these guys, Al.
So these guys are basically sort of an evolution of the Palatine Blades from the Legion of old. They are the paragons of close combat and the art with the blade.
I get the whole head
they have
stretching
demonic
thing
patrons
and
that
what they're
like
doing
to
with the
keep an eye on
heads.
what they're up to, and they basically need to keep
I'm not
impressing
into
them
it.
with the best kills,
Which,
the most
again,
dramatic flair.
super
to
happy.
Dose themselves
I
up on
purchased
stims
some,
all throughout. But
some
their
alternate
incredible
heads.
pride means that they never want to share their form, so they're never going to get sort of completely taken over by a demon, but they're more than happy to accept their gifts.
They're just stunning models, aren't they? Really are. 3 models in a box, loads and loads of options to customize your miniatures to make them look as prideful as you want them to. On the battlefield, they are horrifying combatants, as you can well imagine, wielding their bliss blades there with terrifying skill. Now, Alex, you talked about those demonic patrons in their lore as well, and on the battlefield, that's represented. They can call upon these dark powers to give them extra powers in combat. But at a risk, because if they don't actually get any kills, they're punished with their own deaths. So
They
it's
probably
a big
live
risk,
like
but
JoJo's
really
characters
very
as well.
slashy and very fun too. Now, also coming for the Emperor's Children is the Lord Cacophonist, who's this incredible miniature with a
actually do
huge
like this one.
amplifier on his back. Tell me more.
This one's
So
nice.
these guys, as with the Noise Marines, are
Dual
obsessed
pistols.
with sound, namely the extremes of sound, able to issue sonic assaults at basically any scale. They're believed by some to actually be able to cause vibrations within the warp itself.
That's cool.
So these guys are basically surgically sculpted.
Super
even
cool until you
beyond
find
the
out the
normal Noise
Aldari can
Marine.
sing things into
That amplifier on
existence
their
by
back
pulling it
is
out of the warp.
Doom Siren, and that basically magnifies every utterance.
It's like ASMR, but for Slaneshi Marines. It's awesome. We've got the options on the kit. You can have Screamer pistols or a power sword there as well. He's got a rule called Obsessive Enunciation, which, if he joins Noise Marines, give them sustained hits, which is just incredible. Yeah, he can use
You
the
do
Doom
want
Siren to
sustained on
blow
range.
people's heads up as well. Which is just
Lethal's a
great.
little better,
A wonderful miniature,
but
very
sustained's
Slaneshi.
really
If you're
good.
getting Noise Marines, get hold of one of these as
So
well.
solid anti-infantry
Now,
there.
also coming for the Emperor's Children in the future is the Combat Patrol.
Oh, let's
It's called
see
the
it.
Callous Blades
Wait, can we see
inside
it?
the Codex. It's not coming quite yet, but it will be coming in the future, and it's a seriously combat-focused combat patrol there. So 6 of the Flawless Blades.
I mean, I'm going to pick it up
on a
because
low
I hate
result
the
until you
Thousand
really get
Suns
stuck
Combat
in.
Patrol, and I'm waiting
Gonna
to
be
see the new
horrifying,
one.
but yeah, coming later, not quite
And I
yet.
kind of do
Now, of course,
want a
in the
Combat
Army
Patrol I
set
can play with.
is coming the Emperor's Children Codex. This one's been waited for a long time by
That is an
hobbyists out there.
old picture.
Tell me what's the first thing that caught your
God,
eye?
they keep diving into their
As
like
expected, this is a
old
work of
pictures.
perfection. It's got everything from the background and the lore in it. A little bit of explanation about what Fulgrim's been up to.
Wait,
how the Emperor's
I think I've
children,
had
various
that.
war
I
bands
think
have been fractured.
I
But my
bought this
favourite
old
thing is
book
these little
that I think
cutouts
had that
appear on
picture in
various pages basically
grayscale.
describing the stims, the toxins,
From,
the
like,
drugs that the Emperor's children have been using. And one of my favourites is Starthraxine
2002.
dust, which is basically this crystalline powder that they put in their eyes that grows crystals and would drive anybody else mad, but the Emperor's children love it.
Wow, 40,000.
No, yeah, these guys. Just anyone who don't know, these guys
Of
are
course,
the drug
gamers can
users
expect
of
to
the
find everything
40k
they usually
universe
find
for
inside the
chaos.
Codex, from all the army rules.
They're
They've got a new rule
Floridians,
called, Thrill
basically. It's
Seekers,
great.
where the army can advance or fall back and still charge, but with a few restrictions. But it's
I
still
think anytime
exciting.
I go to a tournament with
6
my
dodge
armor list,
attachments,
I'm going
which,
to call
let
it
you achieve
#Florida
various
Man.
levels of perfection in there. And we've got lots of models. All the models we've seen are included, of course, all the rules in there, as well as other models also available right now. So if you wanted to start your forces right now to get ready for this, you could paint some Terminators, a Helldrake, a Demon Prince, Rhinos, Land Raiders, Spawn are in there, Mauler Fiends too. And what's really exciting is the Slaneshi demons are included in the book as well.
Yes. So if you wanted a fiend or a greater demon of Slanesh, this is your opportunity.
Absolutely, you can include your Slaneshi demons.
I'm kind of sad they didn't
children
add
on the
like
tabletop,
straight up the cacophony.
which is just
I get
great.
just
so,
going to
yeah,
Noise
Keeper of
Marines.
Secrets running around alongside Fulgrim would be terrifying.
No
prospect to
vehicles,
face. We've got the
leaning into the
Crusaders in
idea
there
that
as
the
well.
current vehicles that
Inside the Crusade,
go
you're gonna
between
love
all
this.
the armies
idea
are
here
going to
is that
be
they're on a
there.
sort of journey to try and find
So
exotic
hey, you
rare
want to run
ingredients
some
to
vehicles?
mix
You
up
got to run your
strange
Forge Fiends. You got to
elixirs,
run
which
your
will then
Mauler
have
Fiends.
horrifying,
I don't think they're going to have a
results for
special
the
vehicle.
combatants as
Very
well.
cool.
Just really cool, and of course the usual amount of new artwork. Great miniature shots in there as well. It's an absolute must get for Emperor Children fans. Oh, I'm so excited for these guys, even though they hurt my Primarch.
So we've seen some fantastic stuff there from Age of Sigmar. We've seen the High Elf Realms from the Old World, and ending with those Emperor's Children. It's been fantastic.
There's been some great. And
Sometimes they
Necromunda
do
too,
a
of
one
course,
more
we saw in there as
thing,
well.
but
Those Black Library
I don't
miniatures
know.
were so good too. Yeah, it's been a really great preview.
Maybe not here.
Now, thank you everybody for watching. If you're over at LVO, I hope you're having a fantastic time.
Again, if you were at
More
LVO and you
details
were
on all
watching,
of these
there's a
and
group
some
called
of
the
the
Hobby
things that we've not
Collab that are
shown off,
doing the
head over
AOS
to the
narrative
Warhammer
event. I watch
community
them a lot.
website.
Go say
Remember to
hi.
Follow us on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Instagram. And thank you for joining me, Nick.
Thank you for joining me, man.
Thank you, everybody at home. See ya.
So that was sad. But it is a YouTube video, so we can actually take a minute. Mute. Activate stream music. Let me center this a little bit. There we go. There we go. Yeah, no KT. So like I was saying, these guys are kind of cool. I mean, if you're into undead stuff. Do we pull up the, hang on. All right, if we're, hang on, let me go to, yeah. Quickly threw that together. I'm okay with it. Let's go check out the Warcom page. Make sure none of my deets are on screen because sometimes they mess with me like that. So the colors don't matter. Like, just to be clear, the colors don't matter. You can paint whatever. Oh, Jesus. They did it in this format. Okay, hang on. Let me open a ton of tabs. All right, I think we're good. Sorry for the extremely white screen. I also don't like not night mode. But yep, to anyone in chat who might be new to this whole thing, usually when stuff like this comes out, if you are even remotely interested in playing this army, like if this is the one you look at and go, yes, please, this is usually a good way to get in. So keep an eye out for this. They look okay, I think. The one that really got me, like this looks kind of cool. But let's take a look at these. I wonder if this is a transfer. Looks a little too perfect, right? Like a little too faded, a little too perfect. Because everyone needs the drummer skeleton, right? No, they're... Imagine dropping the data slate right now. Just being like, ha! Just throwing it out in the universe. So I've seen people talk about the problem of doing that with data slates being like, oh, well, that updates the app and therefore you're going to lose the info so that if the tournament happens like the day after, then you're screwed and that kind of stuff. Interestingly, the Kill Team app requires you to update. Like, you can look at the old one, but if you want to, like, update it, you can, like, click the update button. It's a little weird. Oh, yeah, the Salamanders peak. That's nice. There's a lot of Salamanders a lot of Salamanders players at the store local to me, so they got to be freaking out right now. It's got to be huge for them. These guys are kind of cool, though. They're nice, but, I mean, I feel like all skeletons in AOS are kind of just, like, bland a little bit, unless they're the Ozark Bone Reapers, the ones that are basically just like super Egypt. This though, this is pretty poggers in my opinion. I love the wings here. I always love torn flesh wings like this, because you can do so much fun stuff with it. I mean, it's Black Legion. Eh. That looks cool. These are really nice. The vampires always look just way too cool. I feel like the Soulblight Grave Lords are always like that one step above just straight skeleton army. Oh wait, is the Chaos Lord still not out yet? I keep forgetting that they showed him, and I keep hearing people be like, when am I getting him? Is that what you're talking about? Is he out? Is he not out, the Jump Pack Lord? He has to be out by now. So, oh yeah. So they're out, but in the same way that Games Workshop releases models where they're like, here's 10. Hopefully only 10 people want them. Nah. So this is a fan favorite. I like this one solely because of this. The whole like hands behind the back, just checking stuff out and like just casually. Just lightly carrying a power axe. It's just like, eh. So the kill team for Ratlings and Tank Bustas dropped and sold out in like 5 minutes. The guy I was playing against was talking about buying them. He was like, after this game, I'm going to take a look at them and see, and maybe put in a pre-order. And I went, no, you're not. He was like, what are you talking about? Wait, what? I was like, yeah, you're going to need to get used to this. You're going to want to be on that pre-order. Dude, it's like Yarrick 2.0, though. Although he is missing his really... It's like reborn Yarrick. Some good details. Everyone loves IG. Well, a lot of people love IG. It's because it's the human condition in an otherwise horrifying galaxy. And then an assassin for those who like to play Hero Hammer. Shade of Cain. So this is a daughter of Cain? Yes? What does she join in with? Yeah, Daughters of Cain. Okay. She looks so much like just like a kingdom, like a human kingdom, like a Army of Sigmar character. I don't know. Are a lot of Daughters of Cain just like, I'm kind of Armies of Sigmar? It's alright though. It's got that fun multi-layer armor. A nice little flowy cape. High elves. For those who like Old World. Okay, so to those out there that do like Old World, I don't know, because we have 12 people in chat. We're blowing up right now. If you play Old World, is it big? Like, is Old World getting big? Because this is one of those situations where, locally speaking, there's like 5 people who have full collections of armies right now. And they keep talking about it like this incredible game. and then they never play it. So it's one of those weird situations. Well, maybe the story is different for her design. Like, maybe she does work in and among the armies of Sigmar and just, like, secretly pops up and is like, I'm pulled back my hair and I have long ears and I stab you in the face kind of like situation. Transfer sheets, everyone. Oh, Jesus. These are ridiculous. I feel like this is literally Aldari meets Custodes. That's what this is. I don't like the helmets. Again, I did say that I did buy about 50 heads of female punk rockers, scaled up to 32. Look at you, Pope, thinking I'm happy. You don't know me. I'm okay. I'm middling. Something you're going to get to know about me and probably hate about me, like a lot of people do, is I'm not like a hype person. I'm more of like a, we'll see how this goes kind of person. Like, I know there's a lot of people who are like, they said the word Emperor's Children. I'm losing my mind. But I'm like, now I'm trying to think of like what I'm going to do to convert the models a little bit. Here's the dragon that popped up when we thought no more dragons were to be had. Not the ones they showed, but mostly. Okay, so we'll get into it. We'll get into it in a second. Ooh. Aw, dude. I need to buy one of these. Solely because my one friend really likes phoenixes. And I could do that to it. We're never going to play this. But by God, a really nice phoenix statue, well painted. Oh, no problem, Pope. I mean, we all know here, I mean, the little thing down over in the bottom corner of your screen, and just remind everyone that is a fund for my Emperor's Children that comes at me in the form of, you know, donations made from the description to Streamlabs. I'm still getting them. I'm still getting Emperor's Children. I'm grabbing that Combat Patrol if, you know, I can get it. So Emperor's Children is probably one of, out of the Chaos Space Marines, it is probably one of the most popular armies that no one really talks about that much. Like, everyone I know is just like, dude, I want to play Emperor's Children. But all they have is just, I'll play Chaos Space Marines, I'll paint them Emperor's Children, and we'll just call them Emperor's Children. And it's just like, yeah, that's fine, that's cool, whatever. Now that Emperor's Children is coming out, I'm going to be fighting with way too many people. This actually looks kind of cool. Wizards! Ooh, that is badass looking. I don't remember seeing that. Love these little ridiculous basing concepts. Eat ball. I kind of get Old World, but like again, no one I know talks about it. And just so, like, for those of you who maybe sit on the outside of tabletop gaming and are like, what is all this? Why are these square? I constantly see circles. So in this version of the game, if I'm not mistaken, the main thing about it, and some tabletop games do this, which is why it's square, is that being on the side of this unit, like coming in from the side, gives you benefits in different dice rolls. Flanking is very big in this game. Being able to hit something from the side or the back can utterly change the way the game is played. So movement is... This guy's a periscope. I just noticed that. Jesus Christ. Oh, no. Is that a horn? That's a horn. I thought that was ridiculous. An elf with a periscope. So the whole thing about it is movement, positioning. Because if you have to move in a specific way to position your unit, that opens a flank up. That is a problem. So this is one of those extreme level of tactical games, which is probably why no one plays it. Like, they buy it, they collect for it, they like the idea of playing it, but then they go to the store and they play 40K. They play Age of Sigmar. I still kind of like them. There's some cool models that have come out of it so far. Yeah. Armies on parade. They flew through these. Oh, another person with my own joy of bright colors. Please tell me. Sometimes they use higher resolution pictures so that you can open them and check them out. See, this is what most people do for the, well, this is what some people do, we'll go with, for the army boards, for Armies on Parade. They'll just build a really cool board and then they'll just put their army on it. I personally don't like this because that base is designed for table, which is why it's all dirt and mud, and then they're just on a road, and it just looks weird to me. And this guy's here as a winner, and in my brain, I'm like, I don't want to do that. There was... Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, that's why it's a bronze. I was like, wait a second. This guy painted his army and then just put it on a piece of wood with a raised back. And it's in the victory. Like, it looks cool. I love the glowy bits because I'm attracted to bright lights like a moth. Oh, they didn't put... Okay, no. They didn't put in the portrait that one person did that they showed off. Oh, is it in here? Mute. Where is it? Like, okay. I've seen this one. Oh, no. Close. Full screen. This is insane. And it is, yet again, one of those, like, oh, I just put the models in. Screw you with your 480p nonsense. It's just, here's this amazing board, which, honestly, they probably play Necromunda on this. I'm not even lying. But you just put your army on it, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. Versus... Actually, this looks really cool. Same thing, though. But versus... Is this it? No. Oh, this actually is kind of awesome. Because it's a small group. They literally OSL'd this unit for this board. The bases are designed in the same texture, which this is probably from a texture roller. They most likely texture rolled this whole thing, cut the circles out for the bases, and then applied them to the bases. And then just painted everything like this, which is pretty cool. Where is it? The thing I would want to do for a board is this. And the issue here is that I would be buying a ton of models. And then just not using them. Because they're in here. They're done. This is what I did with the armor on my Castigator with all the Zangor stuff, which is fine. It's Zangor stuff. Who cares? It's just relief sculpture of Zangors. This is genuinely like knights and orcs and goblins, and you're just buying all of this to never use it again. So yeah, these are the nomads that were revealed. Again, Necromunda. Basically narrative kill team at this point, which is probably why they stopped doing kill team Spec Ops, because Spec Ops was just watered down Necromunda. So if you really want to play a game where you're playing characters that, like, this looks cool, but this weapon and this weapon maybe could be replaced with like a rifle or something, like, you can actually upgrade these units, and some of them even have that situation where like you glue a thing of pouches over here and all of a sudden you have a whole new piece of war gear kind of situation. That's what this game is. That's what this game mode is. Like the spear could be on this, stuff like that. But yeah, I painted all my cultists these based off of the nomads, because it was the same cost. It was literally, hey, do you want to buy cultists, or hey, do you want to buy nomads? It's like, I think I'll buy 30 nomads. They get bugs though, which is nice. And that's why you get the upgrade sprues, because these are the arms that would be meant for that gun, and then you would just put them on his body. Oh yeah, they make great Tzeentch cultists. They make great any cultists, because they're scrappers. They look like they're going out and looking for things to bring back to places. And it's great when you apply this to like some army thematics, because I painted them when I was making my Vashtor detachment that looked like Thousand Suns. So these guys looked like the, hey, we're running out into the battlefield to find parts for our demon engines kind of characters, which I liked. They looked really cool. The terrain is fantastic for it, because again, this is modular. Most likely you can pull the top off of this, and there's actually interiors, although they're not showing it, so it might just be that you have to get here, climb up, get here, and then you can climb to the top at some point. Tusken Raiders, man. Fremen or Tusken Raiders. It's one or the other. Moab Deep. Wait, did they show this? Did I look away while they were showing the Thanatar? Or did they forget to talk about the Thanatar? Wait, did you guys see a Thanatar? I think they talked about this before. This is what I wish the Dreadnoughts looked like for Chaos, by the way. Oh, that's weird. Genuinely weird. Thanatar looks cool. Dude. Oh my god. It looks so good. I wonder how high of a chance it is that this is actually adjustable. Maybe not. It's probably one solid piece for this arm, but this reminds me of the Castigator, where you actually glued like sections together and then bent it how you wanted it. Oh my god. Thanatar looks cool. So this is the Plaguey Boy. They did say they were going to be showing off Beastmen later. He's a Bray Shaman. So yeah, Beastmen pulled from AOS, being put into Old World. Because like, yeah, twist sprays and stuff, like it's all here. At some point, people sitting in their houses with their Beastmen armies are going to go, I guess I'll play Old World. Let me just cut all these bases off and buy all these square bases, because they sell these by the bag. Like, it's just a big plastic bag with tons of these. I love it. Why did they have to make him look so badass? Oh, there it is. Oh, I love it. Oh my god, he's top. Dude, this is top tier. Holy crap, this is so good. Like, why does this sword have to be so badass? This is straight from Age of Sigmar. Like, most swords in 40k at, like, this level, this type of unit, is kind of just like, eh, whatever. You know, it's a sword. Cool. This is, like, almost Abaddon's Demon Blade level. Like, it just a rando dude. You were saying about no tentacles? He's all tubes. What does he do? Spend decay, and so it goes on until entropy is loyal servants. Let's plod dutifully and few. So this is a Lord of Poxes. So this is a leader unit. Champions of the Death Guard who reach a high enough rank will adopt one of the mantles of corruption, each an invasion of Mortarion dedicated to a certain septic. Are there augments to that? Dude. Can't wait. Bullshit. I mean, I guess they showed. That's fine. This feels like we're releasing, but it's not because these guys are coming way later. Unless they're literally going, hey, guess what? These guys are next year. But yeah, so salamanders? Grey Knights? Is this Grey Knights? Space Wolves? Maybe. And then this is Chaos Knights. But Imperial Knights were supposed to already... Imperial Knights are supposed to come out when these guys drop, right? Like, I thought that's the last thing they said was Astra Militarum and Imperial Knights, which made me really mad because I don't think they're giving us new models. I really don't. I genuinely think they're not giving us new models in the Knights armies. They have no reason to. So why not just get both the books out at the same time? You think Black Templar? Yeah, I guess so, because it is a cross. Because I'm looking at it, it's an axe, and in my brain I'm thinking, oh, Space Wolves. But Space Wolves would have more teeth on this. And then they got the little chain, which is a common visual aesthetic for Black Templar. So that's not bad. So Grey Knights, Templar, Salamanders, and then just randomly Chaos Knights. And they do love to reuse the art. Like, this almost just looks like the frigging War Dogs from the box. Right here. Like, if that's the cover, it's just the War Dog box art. I think they're going to give us Dark Mechanic. They could. I don't know. So there's always a balance in Games Workshop releases. They don't want to release so much. So they don't want to do it. That there's just too much stuff on the walls. It's the whole reason why they like dropped 30 boxes for Space Marines. They need to balance exactly how much they put out because Warhammer stores, great. Online sales, great. That's fantastic. But there is an element of we also want small LGSs to carry our stuff. And if an LGS has to fill most of their store with your shit, when the thing keeping the lights on for them is actually Magic the Gathering and all that, eventually they're going to not like you. So unless they're like, yeah, you can get AdMech units and maybe get like an upgrade sprue to make them look chaosy and run them as dark. I don't know. But yeah, Fulgrim. Do they show him again here? Because I can... No. Because again, I do have my own Fulgrim. But like, you guys remembered the one there. Let me... His wings are really tall, so I can't really get him fully in the picture. But I like this Fulgrim I like. And as far as I can tell, yeah, he's the same size. He's got to be the same size. So we will be completing him. I am going to wait. The battery should be here tomorrow so I can test them. But then I have to figure out what we're going to do to actually finish him out with the lights in his base, which is going to involve me building up a lot of cork. That'll be fun. Let's keep going with this. Let's keep looking. Here's our boys. Yep, there he is. Let's see if we see anything here. Because this is basically telling. These will most likely be allies, although we've heard that or at least I've heard, it could be a lie because these are all rumors, that some of the codexes for the specific factions are going to have different access to demons. Like a little bit maybe easier access to demons. If not, then this is just flavor back here. But what we've got here is the melee variants. Lucius, which, yeah, I'm getting a Lucius. That's happening. Of course, Fulgrim, which this is telling. Because here he is, and you can see him next to 32, most likely. So yeah, the base I have is the base. The wings are smaller. Straight up, the wings are smaller. And he's about to vomit all over Lord Solar. What's this? Did they show this? Oh, the pixels. Did they show this? What am I looking at? This is just a regular sorcerer, right? This has to be a conversion. Because that's the brand. I've seen this before. Yeah, this is like a standard sorcerer with like a weird head, it looks like. Like, I've seen this brand before. I think I've seen this staff. I've seen this backpack. It's this helmet I haven't seen before. So this has to be a conversion. Nothing else about it screams Slanesh. There's no like how the armor here is. Like, you can see kind of how all their armor is non-trimmed for the most part. That's classic Chaos trim. So this is a classic model. But yeah, if you look around, that's the head. This is the head that this. There's no way. Chaos Sorcerer. 40K. No, 100%. That's not the right. This is a Slanesh head. Unless this head comes in the box. Is that a part? I'm looking at him right now. He doesn't have that. Yeah, the rest of the body is the same. That head is different. Yours came with a psychic hood. The one I'm looking at has the talons, none of this. That's so weird. I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't even be an upgrade sprue. They would have just pulled it from somewhere else. I don't know if you guys have seen. Let me see if I can pull it up. 1,000 Suns Terminator Sorcerer Lord images. They did a box art of it. Here it is. Open image in new tab. I actually made this one. Nah. I feel like it's similar to this. And if you're looking at this going, well, what's different about this? This is a Terminator Sorcerer Lord, which is the legs, this stone, and the mid-body, specifically the back of the mid-body, I think, and up to about here. This is from the Terminator, Scarab Occult Terminator box. This is one of the different squad leaders. You can cut an element around the head hole that this guy has to apply this. They then also took the mid-waist attachment to give him this in front of what is normally just a belt with chains. This is also from that same box, same with the Copish. The head is, of course, the same. These shoulder pads are from the Terminator Sorcerer Lord box, and so are these back spikes and the full-blown cape. So this is actually a conversion. And I built one because I like it. I thought it looked really cool. But yeah, what we can tell from just looking around here, it does look really good on the demon prints, especially when you make the flesh really white. It's really cool. Noise Marines. That's that special cacophony leader. More noise marines. So these are the melee variants. These look like specialty melee variants. Yeah, these are the slightly better versions. Yeah, I'm so glad I bought the heads. I hate these heads, dude. I actually don't like these heads. They look like Slaanesh heads, but I don't like them. I kind of knew I wasn't going to like them. So I have those punk rocker heads that are going to replace these. What, these guys? So this is the Lord. This is actually the Lord. Classic. Just with the big mouthpiece. I don't like how clean their armor is. I get it, though, but I don't like how clean their armor is. You don't like the beakies? I don't like the speaker beakies, but the beakies they showed... Oh, I wonder if it's... I don't like them. No. This does just look like slightly less coat Fabius Bile. And I'm here for it. I actually like this. I think he looks fine. I don't think they mastered what was supposed to be here, though. Because the whole story is that, like, when you become him after you kill him, your face then appears on his armor because your soul's now trapped in him. So there's a face. There's kind of a face. But there's not a lot of that going on around here. So I feel like they missed a detail a little bit. But this is nice. This is pretty cool. I feel like masterclass of this would be to figure out the size and to manually, and I'm saying this knowing I'm going to think of doing it and then not do it, is to trim this out and then put LEDs up here. So yeah, there's some faces. So the whip is the tongue. I like that. That's a nice detail. The tongues are coming out of the faces, and then he's using it as a whip. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of this, which this is actually big on the 30K Fulgrim model. The leather strapping that adds to the armor as like a more sort of exterior reinforcement to it. That's nice. That's nice. That's not going to piss anyone off. I still have to paint the silver on all the rivets on Fulgrims. This, I don't know. I love the backpack. I love this backpack. I'm going to be interested to see what the different weapon profiles are. Because, I mean, this is your Lord. This is your basic Lord. Oh, yeah, dude, nipple ring. It's like if the old Batman movies went a step too far. I like the speaker in the boot. That's a nice touch. But again, so let me go back over. You guys are going to hear a pop, possibly. Yep, there you go. Sorry. So this is actually the color scheme that I'm going to be aiming for, which is this glowing pink at the bottom, which fades into the old armor color scheme, which is purple and gold. Usually I'm going to be using blues for accents and feathery stuff. Maybe orange for things. But yeah, he has the little leather girdle in there as well. Maybe yellow for a lot of the cloaks, just to keep it in line. But this is my eventual color scheme for the armor. Because like I said, what they show you... Might be another pop. Hang on. Nah, you're fine. What they show you here isn't the end-all be-all. It's not. So most likely the armor is going to be really pink down here, and then just purples, which I have a lot of purples, and then just gold trim, which could be good. This will be a yellow cape. Yeah. I like it. Oh, I don't like the head. I like the head across all of these is in different directions, which means it is a very specific, straight down, standardized 32 millimeter Space Marine head, which means it's actually kind of good they added this. I'm trying to pull them out. Might take another trip over to the camera again. If I can pull some of these. So I still have to clean them up a little bit, but we got these little punk rocker heads. Focus on in a second. Female punk rocker heads. A lot of mohawks and faux hawks. So yeah, female punk rocker heads, a lot of mohawks, a lot of faux hawks. You too, Pope. We will be using a lot of them on like these kind of models, specifically Combat Patrol. I'm hoping I can get my hands on the Combat Patrol, because then I can at least start this process, right? I almost think I would want to magnetize the arms though. Like, what is going to be the value in these? This looks like the specialized, like, sonic weapon. So, like, not kind of a bolter. Probably dual profile. Standard plasma pistol. But the big thing is melee. So, most likely, whatever the melee profile on this character is, might end up having me want to do dual melee of some kind. I do kind of like this. Let me see if I can pull up what what my head sees for the model that I'm kind of disappointed isn't here. It's also a model that I think is sold out and isn't being planned on being reprinted. So, see if I can find them, because this is very reminiscent of it, and it's in his name too. The Cacophonist. So the Horus Heresy had these models called the Cacophony. I don't know why Games Workshop is showing me models in a random foreign currency. Okay. Comparatively, they're not bad. I don't know why these don't look as good as I remember them. Oh, maybe because I only ever saw the gray, and the gray actually looked really cool. Open image in new tab. Wow. These are the Cacophony. So this is what I'm kind of in my head thinking of. Like, the guns are still boxy, but this process here is really nice. These are kind of the old heads too. Versus sort of the new approach. The guns are a little cleaner, but they have this nice fan at the back, I think. These guys don't really have the fan. They have an underarm thing. But they do have like the piping going to the mask. Whereas these guys are just straight up faces, which it's okay. I love the backpacks. The backpacks are massive upgrades, I think, over the old, just standardized look. Just check out the demonic faces on their sonic blaster barrels with options for a pair of heavy blastmaster cannons and a screamer pistol for their disharmonist. This is the disharmonist. Wait. Their armor and weapons are intricately woven. Just check out those demonic faces on their sonic blaster barrels. With options for a pair of heavy blastmaster. Oh, okay. So sonic blasters, heavy blastmaster. And probably, is there another one? I think that's this one. Maybe. No, it's this one, right? I think these are sonic blasters. These might be the heavy blastmasters. Because they have, this one at least has like the larger back. Ah! Thanks for the follow. I like these. I'm okay with these. Again, special heads. I can't wait to see what they look like in these model kits. Let me take a look down here. Because the heads aren't in like a recess. Like there's not like a hood over top of it. So that's great. But yeah. Female punk rocker heads will look fantastic in this armor. I think the color scheme I'm doing will work really well on this armor. I like that I'm seeing a lot of cloaking and like that guy has a cloak coming down from his side. I mean, a lot of the ones down near the ground are going to be pink. But a lot of this caping is going to be yellow. So that works. It's nice. These I don't like. These I don't like for a couple reasons. I do hate their heads. I know they're going to be important. These guys are probably going to be like, you want 1 to 2 squads, like a 1 full squad or maybe like 2 half squads. This is going to be one of those things where their stats are going to be through the roof for killing people, possibly even potential for killing vehicles. Although everything they've shown us, I feel like it's only going to be people. I feel like the Slanesh specific side, even these things, I don't think these are going to be tank killing. These were never meant for tank killing. These were meant for like mid tanks, like rhinos or like a war truck or something from orcs. That's what these could kill, but they weren't really meant for it. This isn't probably going to kill a knight unless they have some kind of interesting lethal rule attached to it. Probably not going to do that great. But killing infantry. So considering what we're seeing here, like a lot of these guys, these are the melee variant standard troop. The combat patrol looks like 2 of these squads and 1 leader. Now, if it is 2 of those squads and 1 leader, what you're looking at, and this is a budgetary thing. If you want 3 leaders, because you can field 3 leaders, you probably won't want to field 3 leaders, but for your collection, you might want 3 leaders. And the 2 squads each means you could get 6 squads out of 3 boxes, which means if you buy 3 combat patrols, you will get a very good baseline of this style of unit, as well as enough variants of this to have a pretty good core of common units, not necessarily to field in a single list, but to pull from if you're planning on full collecting this army, which is why they're doing it. But again, we come back to this thing, and it's standard Rhino, standard Land Raider, no visual upgrades. Why? That's cool. Over here, pink Helldrake, pink Mauler. I'm not seeing a Hellbrute represented. That's disheartening. Although not really. I don't know if I'd pick up a Hellbrute for this. It just depends on what he actually has as his stats. But yeah, this army in its current state to me feels like what you're looking at is the core units that you can get that aren't from everything are all anti-infantry. Except, of course, Lucius. Or Fulgrim. Fulgrim is going to be able to do probably anything. Past that point... Oh, and this, I guess, guarantees that there's just going to be a standard sorcerer on the team. Like a regular-ass sorcerer. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking forward to. I don't want to use my Thousand Sun Mauler Fiends and Hell and Forge Fiends for my army for here. I don't want to use my Thousand Sun Helldrakes for here either. So I'm going to have to be very, like, discerning about where I'm spending past, you know, core units. Maybe I pick up another one of these guys, because the Slanesh Demon Prince does actually look really good. The head for him, all the general components does actually look kind of cool. But yeah, if you're looking for anti-tank in this army, they're probably expecting you to pick up Land Raiders, Forge, and Mauler. It is a fast army. It is supposed to be an army that rushes downfield and unloads things in your face and just has them assault you to death. So this might be the situation where I need to figure out if I can get 1 or 2 Land Raiders. The question is whether or not the World Eaters, because they showed, like, what we're looking at next is Nurgle, World Eaters, Thousand Suns. And I've heard this is sort of a rumor, and to be clear, I am not like one of those actually direct rumor people. I'm not like, dude, I'm in the cut with these, like, I know it. Supposedly demons are going to find a way in to these codexes, the specific faction codexes, because the trick with demons is they are very difficult to balance as allies if, like, just general chaos stuff can take it. Like, applying demons to chaos knights is what gave us the meta of the changeling. It gave us the meta of the changeling and the blue scribes with knights, which actually saw a lot of positive success, along with just taking some nurglings to tie some stuff up. But if you limit getting, like, good stuff to the faction related to the demon side, then maybe there's a little bit more there, like a little bit more adaptability to how they can run. So maybe those codexes will reveal that that's a plan that they have, where I could start using my Tzeentch demons a little bit more in my Thousand Sun army, because that's another main thing. If I want to use Tzeentch demons, their psychic abilities aren't enhanced, but imagine dropping a Kairos that improves the casting potential of nearby Thousand Sun sorcerers. That could be cool. Actually having them with the Thousand Sun name in their data card, and maybe having like a slightly alternate effect could be nice. And World Eaters could get a drastic improvement from that as well. No, yeah, Death Guard probably just getting that new leader. Honestly, I think we're going to get the character treatment as Death Guard and Caissons. They're probably going to give me a new sorcerer type. Call it a day. I still think we need a melee unit, like a genuine melee unit. I either want bucket list. I either want a proper melee unit in the Thousand Suns, or I want the Osiris Dreadnought. That's it. That's all I want. But they'll probably just give us a different sorcerer. But yeah, this is going to be very close. Like, the question is, what is coming over from Space Marines outside of tanks? Terminators, probably, coming over. The Sorcerer, as we saw here, is probably going to have a specialty style in this army. Are those? No. So I'm not seeing any Raptors. So Raptors do look like they're going to be hard stuck in Chaos Space Marines. Yeah. Okay. Like, I'm still getting them. I'm still going Emp Children. But it does really seem like in my construction of them, it's going to be anti-infantry and then figure out the anti-tank and the staying power durability. I'm going to need some Land Raiders. At least 2. I don't think this army is going to function without 2 Land Raiders. This feels very much like the Chaos version of Black Templar, where this is what you need to sit on points, and then if anything gets close to it, Halbrickton squad jumps out. I wish they showed us little pieces of a card. So this guy, from what they said, gives sustained to Noise Marines, which means the Noise Marines don't come with sustained, which makes me wonder what these weapon profiles are going to be. I'm telling you, the cheap route they're going to take, Robbie, is they're going to give you access to the Bloodletters riding Juggernauts as like a more standard unit that actually gets benefits from your World Eater faction rules. Which, honestly, I think you'd be okay with. If that's the thing. If the demons directly worked with the main faction and had benefits going one way or the other in there, I think that actually really works. And as a GSC player, seeing what they've been doing with the GSC, because they made the GSC and Imperial Guard detachment combo like its own thing now, it actually works like pretty good if you look at it. Like, it could put out some pretty solid damage potential. By the way, this white blue you're looking at, this is what I highly suggest people do whenever they want to do white armor. It's like a blue wash, and then you go over it with white to pick up some of the edges, but it's a whole other thing. It just looks so good. Because compare it to this pure white freaking loincloth here. This looks exciting. This looks bland. Exciting, bland. Just saying. But yeah, so that worked, and then they dropped the Grotmist attachment, which is Genestealer cults and Tyrannid. And the thing about that one is the Genestealer cults provide buffs to the Tyrannid. That's a huge thing, in my opinion. So, like, there's that potential there of being allied with something that already exists, so they don't have to put out new models for it, but they can make you go, oh, I really want to play World Eaters, and I have all of these Jackals, I have Angron, I have the Terminators, I have all these vehicles, blah, 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 down the road. And then they go, cool, here's your codex. By the way, you might want to start buying Corn Demons. And it's like, oh, okay. It's already there. It's already on the shelf. They have a combat patrol, which you'd probably want to pick up in that situation. Yeah, these are the noise Marines. Leader gives them stun or sustained. I think he's okay. Again, the armor is so clean. I kind of like what they did, though, where they made these parts look marble, but in a way where it looks like veins. It's like marble veins, which is so cool. I think my color scheme will kick ass on these, though. I'm looking forward to it. The real question is, can I get a speaker small enough to go into the shoulder pads of the leader, or not the shoulder pads, but the life support pack of the leader of this squad, so I can actually play music from my Noise Marines? Could be cool. But yeah, these guys suck. Because I showed you the heads that I have. These guys have necks, which means they're like the jackals, which means I can't use my heads easily on these. I'll have to see if it's possible. Like, I don't know how these are even laid in. I'm wondering if the head is separate, and maybe if I properly cut and green stuff the thing down to attach to it, it would work. Maybe, but I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. This is okay. I'd probably use this one. Like, this is metal. This is metal as fuck right here. I actually don't mind this. This is my favorite beak. Like, this is actually probably my favorite helmet in this whole squad. Because, like, this is Birdo, right? Don't lie to me, chat. Like, you all see it, right? It's not just me. I might need to buy more heads. I gotta see if that shop still exists on Etsy, because it was seriously like 20 bucks for 50 heads. I'm probably gonna need more. Depending on how many heads they give us on the actual thing that looks, because this makes you look like almost like a legionary, like an actual like Roman legionary. I kind of like this. You don't like that? You don't like seeing this? You don't like seeing this combo right here? You don't like? Is there more? Yeah, see, like, this isn't bad. I like that. I'm kind of okay with this. I mean, I get this. This is basically quintessential Noise Marine. Speaker in mouth. These are all Shreve Talons. Every single one of these guys is just a Shreve Talon. I love the concept of just like, I have my knife, and then I have my spare knife. Just in case. Regular ass bolt pistols. Their backpacks look nice though. It has like the little speaker system facing forward, the dotting. And then you have the gun variants. I doubt anyone's ever going to use the gun variants. Like, why the hell do you want a Bolter Squad? There's almost no reason to go Bolter Squad. Unless there's some, like, weird special thing that they get for going all Bolters. Like, oh, people can't deep strike within 12 inches of you. No, yeah. I showed you my Fulgrim. You've seen my Fulgrim. They're that color. It's going to happen. Pink glow into the classic purple gold. So This is it right here. Oh my god. So there's Yep. I'm doing it. This is the cacophony version. This isn't... Oh, no, this is the new version. Okay. What the hell is this? What are these? I mean, we could say they're cultists. This feels different. So yeah. What I'm expecting would be that Games Workshop drops the Combat Patrol and then drops this. Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, if these are daemonettes, I think these codexes are going to have access to demons in some way, shape, or form. Maybe not all of them, but some of them. So there's a good chance that it's happening. The way people are kind of mumbling about there will be demons involved. The ideal to get people to purchase stuff, there's already the Khorne Combat Patrol for demons. Release the Tzeentch one, release the Slaanesh one, release the Nurgle one. Then release the codexes for those teams that go, hey, we use demons. I don't know. That's a crab claw. Crab claw. So yeah, they might release everything all at once, at which point, honestly, this is why I hate this. No, it's not everything. This is 100% not everything. But we were trying to debate what's getting added in from standard, because you can see... Oh, wait, it's already up? No. I pulled it down. So they're going to get Demon Princes, just like all the other factions have access to. You're going to get Terminators, just like all the other factions have access to, that aren't necessarily special. There are the 1,000 Sun Terminators that are special. Death Guard have a ton of special Terminators, but World Eaters have just these guys, and they're World Eaters, so hooray. You're going to have access to your Land Raiders. They might have a small unit, but again, like I said, the question is, are they going to do this to us? Which I'm actually down for. I'm cool with this. I'm cool with them bringing some demon models from the Chaos Demons list and allowing you to have easier connected access to it. No, yeah, there's in this, like, this is a sorcerer. That's just a regular ass sorcerer that for some reason Goblin thinks is like that's normal. But, I mean, maybe I'm just saying, I don't know. But then yeah, you get Mauler Fiends, Helldrakes. World Eaters have Termies, just not World Eater Termies. Like, it's not like special Termies. But there was a meta that was World Eaters, all Terminators, because they get like some kind of crazy movement benefits. Yeah, sure, Goblin, absolutely. Yeah. I believe you. Lucius looks good. I can't wait to paint Lucius. You could post it in the Discord if you want. I mean, you can try to prove me. But yeah, a lot of it visually I don't like. Some of it I'm okay with. Glad I have the alternative heads, like I've been saying. I'm hoping that when they release it, they don't release the combat patrols like a month in advance and then release this. That'd be weird, right? Not just me. But like, the best way to do this would be to purchase 3 of these. Sell all this shit on eBay from 2 of them. I don't think they're merging the codexes. I think it's Agents of Chaos. No. What am I? Agents of the Imperium. There's the word. There's the concept. In those codexes there are Grey Knights. There are just selections of things that they can have access to actually play on the tabletop. I think that's what we're going to get in the Chaos specific faction codexes. You want me to pass over? So I think that's their plan, because there's a lot of holes in the Thousand Suns. There's less holes in Death Guard, in my opinion. Yeah, and then the Ynnari, those are going to be in the codexes, right? Like the Eldari have stuff. Like there's like crossover things in the codexes now. Yes, but when you take demons, you have to take a battle line for everything single special unit, and the benefits that the demons have and the benefits your team have don't really interact with each other. I can't be like, hey, I'm Thousand Suns, let me use my full psychic rerolls on my Kairos. I can't. It doesn't let me use it. I can't double move my blue horrors. Like I can't deep strike my blue horrors, double move them in the shooting phase to get into an objective, which is kind of like a classic way to be like, oh, I'm not on the objective because you kept me out from the 9 inches. Oh, I'm on the objective. Like that kind of situation. I can't do it. But what if you could? What if you could? What if it's like how the Agents of the Imperium work, where the ploys actually work with the stuff? What if it's like how the Genestealer cults have their Imperial Guard ploys, which do work with the Imperial Guard allies, as well as the ploys for the new Grotmist detachment, which work with the Tyranids, which is actually a faction where the Tyranids get drastically stronger. It's the main player on that team is not Genestealer cults. It's Tyranids, which is awesome. Yeah, but then your team rules and any of your ploys you can use on your demons. Imagine being able to do some crazy weird bloodlust thing on the freaking brand, the named demon, or just anything like that. Being able to take juggernauts that actually you can be like, well, I rolled these dice, so I'm gonna give my juggernauts advance in charge or something. Like you just have something to provide them. Oh yeah, the new Death Guard looks fantastic. I like him. I would have played Death Guard, but I really wanted to play Thousand Suns again. But yeah, best thing to do to start, 3 of these boxes. Because this is the combat patrol right here. And then you get 2 Squads Noise Marines. This would be like the biggest start of all time. Yeah, you only really want 3 of these, maybe tops, because these aren't going to be infantry or battle line. You would want one of these to 2 combat patrols. From T-Suns, I want like I said, I want the demons to be more in line with them. It's the sort. I thought it was 2 of these squads. They don't have the picture here anymore. Is the picture somewhere else? I love how they kind of half-assed showing us stuff. Model-wise, I want a new squad. If anything, I want them to give me 2 versions of Scarab Occult Terminators. One that's actually really good at melee, and one that's what they are now. And then just redo the Scarab Occult Terminator model. That could be cool. I'd like that. I'd like that mostly because I played Space Marine 2, and when that Scarab Occult freaking Copish Terminator teleports at you and starts fucking your day up, I was like, oh, dude, we need this on the table. This needs to be how this works. Where is it? Revelant. Yeah, okay. No. Thanks, G-Dub. Let me see if I can find it. Emperor's Children Combat Patrol. Image. Okay, thank you. None of this is helpful. So it would have been from the original stream. Here we are. No. Regulars with knives. Regulars with knives. Yep, there they are. Ugh, gross. So yeah, you want one big box, 2 combat patrols. One big box, 2 combat patrols. That's a starter. That's the starter for Emperor's Children. That covers 6 total battle line, most likely. That covers 2 squads of these. I think full squads, right? The picture here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If they let you double this up to a full-size squad, this is probably fine. That might even be the actual full size. So they give you 2 full-size squads of the noise. You would get, in total, from what we saw in the combat patrol, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you'd have 4 battle line, I think, from what we saw in that video. Because I think it's one of these squads, right? And then you would have 2 of the better sword squads. Show. Nah, yeah. Good luck getting the pre-orders. Seriously, good luck. Good luck to me getting the pre-orders. Good luck to me having the money to do the pre-orders when it drops. Like, this is going to be, what, 3 something? There's no way this isn't like $300. And then the combat patrols. Combat patrols right now, I think, are, what, 150? On average. So baseline before even purchasing any vehicles to paint. Yeah, they're about 150. 150, 160. So baseline before purchasing any vehicles to add onto this specifically, I'm going to want 2 Land Raiders. I might actually try to get them earlier. It's going to be like $600 past any of that to get the baseline troops. Nice looking codex, which I'll put on my shelf and then throw out when the new edition comes out eventually one day. But cards, which will be outdated in a very short period of time. So at least I get a code from the book. No, yeah, prices are pretty nuts. Man, COVID fucked that up pretty hard. Because COVID, from the story I remember, COVID happened right when they were trying to expand their warehouse to increase their supply chain, which was in people's heads supposedly going to level out the potential of an increased pricing to a degree, because they would have actually had enough to keep, like, supply people things. The Christmas boxes, I mean, they're worth it if you need it, right? Like, it's all, even if it's like kind of shit, like $10 off, it's still $10 off. And if you're like me and you bought the Court of the Crimson King, the Thousand Suns box for Christmas, you got it for way less because the companies holding on to it knew no one wanted it, so they cut the price of it to almost what they ordered it for, which was like $50 to $60 off what they said it was. So I got Magnus and a bunch of rubrics for very cheap. Imp Knights are supposed to come out after... was it here? No. It's here. Imp Knights are supposed to be somewhere in here. Right? What, you can't imagine Forge World models for us? I mean, they are kind of expensive. They tend to take a good chunk out of my model spending money. I mean, that like Fulgrim's like $275, I think. The new one's probably gonna be like $120, $130. Oh, you're talking about the Holiday Imp Knights? Yeah, it was a downgrade. That friggin' Holiday Imp Knights from the year before, that sold out in 2 minutes. That sold out so hard that the stores that were promised certain amounts of boxes, they were like, yeah, you're gonna get 3 boxes. And then the time came and Games Workshop went, we're not giving you those 3 boxes because they needed them. Because too many people ordered the ones online and they got a better amount of money for giving those out. Yeah, looking forward to this reveal because this has to be the moment when they tell us, because like this, they're not releasing this. Like, this is what I don't like this, because this isn't a roadmap. This is a what we've shown you. This isn't a what's coming out. So it's confusing a little bit. Because this is supposed to be end of the year. These guys are supposed to be soon. There's supposed to be Imperial Knights here as like what's coming soon. This is supposed to be, they kind of already showed it. This is beautiful. This is so beautiful. Like, if this is all that they're adding to the Death Guard, on top of being like, oh, you also get demons. Nice. And then just telling us, yeah, you guys get demons, and here's another model. And then you guys get demons. Have another sorcerer type that you don't care about. Yeah. I'd be okay with it. Like, honestly, I'd be like, yeah, okay. Like, I had all the GSC stuff, and they were like, here's the Benefactus. And I was like, I don't want that. But thank you for my detachments. I'm actually happy you gave me these. I have a lot of Abominants. I have a lot of Gene Stealers. Thank you for the Abominant and Gene Stealer detachment. I do like the idea of adding AdMech-style fodder troops to these. I do like it. Like the Grotmus detachment that lets you use Chaos Cultists. I think that could be kind of cool. I can see that. Red Butcher Terminators and then just throw the demons in. Maybe a specific Terminator Lord. Dude, Death Guard is here, gaming. Oh, it's so good looking. If this is a 32 mil base, honestly, as a special project, I might pick this guy up and build him as a replacement for my Plague Marine leader for Kill Team. Because he's got a plasma pistol. And then he's got a sword. He looks really good. He looks so good. Well, at the end of the day, I think Goblin, the holiday boxes are really, I'm new to the game. I'm getting into it because, dude, my local game store, the one that has this stuff, but talks about it like they don't like having it. I kind of hate. I hate the new ownership there. Like, I really do. Just listening to them talk about stuff, I'm like, come on. Please. Just accept that if you are excited about the nerddom, it's gonna, like, help. Like, it's gonna pull more people in. If you're sitting there telling me you dislike dealing with this stuff, and that's why you never order any of it, I'm gonna be not interested in conversing with you or coming back here for stuff. Like, it's the whole thing. But I went into that store after Christmas, like a week or two after Christmas. Half their wall was empty. Like, people came in there and annihilated their stuff. So, like, I don't know. There's a lot of new happening, and the holiday boxes are just people who are like, I want to play Sisters. I own 0 Sisters. I want to own all the Sisters. And that's just the whole point of it. Is this an inlay? Is that symbol an inlay? I think it is. Maybe not. Well, Emperor's Children was alright. Recap. These guys aren't that great. I do not like the pinhead looks. It's just a little too Drakari for me. Like, come on. I get that Drakari are basically Space Elf Slanesh, but why do I need their helmets as heads? I don't. This is okay. A little bit too Horus Heresy for me. I do like that, though, a little bit. The idea that as a faction, they've kind of tried to keep themselves pure because of the idea that they were always perfect, that kind of thing. It's like, oh, well, our Horus Heresy look was always the best. It's like, all right. I feel like a lot of Horus Heresy players might be able to easily rotate their Emperor's Children into a good chunk of the Emperor's Children army, as we've seen. As we have seen, Fulgrim's the same size. Well, Horus Heresy Fulgrim, slightly bigger. But this, I like this. I think this is cool. This will be fun. We might try to figure out how to put a light in him, just like we're trying to figure out with Fulgrim. So that most of my heroes, I think I'm going to try to have UV lights. But yeah. Army-wise, we're expecting Emperor's Children to be all anti-infantry, which, yeah, that's World Eaters, right? Like, World Eaters is the same way. Angron's basically the only anti-tank that is World Eater specific. Outside of that, you need to use Mauler Fiends. You need to use Forge Fiends. You need to use... Do they not have the Blood Crusher or whatever that Chaos Titan is? Did they not get the Blood Crusher? I keep forgetting. Did they get the Blood Crusher? Downloads. 40K. Dude, if we wake up tomorrow and there's a data slate for Kill Team. Oh, no. You guys see that LVO put out that missive that was like, hey, these are the changes to the rules we're using. Because we don't want Warp Coven to take victory at our tournament right away. No, not Blood Crushers. What's the... Oh, Skull something. Like Lord of Skulls. You guys have it, right? Like, it's a corn-marked Chaos Space Marine tank. You guys better have it. World Eater's Lord on a Juggernaut. Master of Executions, because why not? Corn Berserkers, everyone's favorite Jackals. 8-bound, which was... No, Exalted 8-bound. That was like everyone's list. All Exalted 8-bound. Oh my god, I don't think you have it. That's like step 1 for the codex, giving you guys the Titan that's only in the Chaos Space Marine codex. No, there he is. Lord of Skulls. Fantastic. He is. I literally just scrolled down to him. He is in their index. Just wanted to make sure. He's like all the way at the bottom. I hate that. This cool. This is freaking Nathan Explosion from Metalocalypse. It's no problem. Do not apologize. We're just nerding out here. Trying to really look at these details. Oh. Thanks, I hate it. They all have like a hoof. You guys see that? It's like a standard now. They all have a hoof. Kind of weird. There is a bit of symbolism with bulls. I like that. Like the noses with the rings. They all have hoofed feet. Like, even this is a split hoof foot. So they're going the satyr look. No, yeah, that's the thing. If the Keeper of Secrets can just be in here and give benefits to the squad, that's like rule 1 in my opinion. Oh yeah, dude. Drugs all day. All day drugs. Wake up, drugs. Even the sound weapons have a drug tank of some kind. Fire the t-shirt cannon. I love that they kind of went like, this is almost like worn down from the Horus Heresy, but it sort of looks like leopard print almost, like zebra print. Like, this is a nice detail. It's like a hearkening to like hair metal, which is kind of cool. Well, the guitar was like the one guy. He was like a special edition thing. Honestly, saxophones. They really should have just made them all have saxophones. It would have been great. I would have been playing the sax man just nonstop all game. Dit, 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 dit. I'm pretty sure Fabius is going to stay Chaos Space Marine. He just got his whole detachment in Chaos Space Marine from Grotmus. But I think the story goes that Fabius hates Fulgrim, right? Like, he really doesn't like Fulgrim. Hooves are here as well. Okay. Stylistically speaking, his armor, My favorite thing about the GW painted armor for Fabius is his armor is new Emperor's Children, I think. Or is it old? I think it's old Emperor's Children. And it's like peeking out from underneath. Yeah, it's old Emperor's Children. Genuinely my favorite thing about that model as painted by Games Workshop. It's just like he doesn't like what happened, but he's still cool with where he came from. I'm kind of sad we didn't get a peek at like a Doom Rider or like a specialty bike unit. I miss the idea of Doom Rider. I really do. And I think it would be the biggest stab in the face for the Emperor's Children to get like a bike specific hero with a styled unit for him. And then White Scars to have nothing. Feels good. But sadly, no. No, I'm okay with the 40k children scheme. I kind of like what the artists did with it. A little bit in some spots, like here. Because it's the whole thing about them is like perfection and excess. So you have this element of like, oh, it's marble, but it also looks like vein on flesh. Like it's a little bit weird, a little bit gross. And I kind of like what they did in this direction. No, yeah, Chaos Knights are on the horizon. Supposedly Imperial Knights soon. Because I thought the original, GW Roadmap 2025. Someone's got to have this picture. And I don't want to go looking for it. This was the dumbest thing I've seen Games Workshop do recently. Was be like, hey everyone, check out all the cool shit we did. Nothing soon. Like, no, yeah. So like they kind of showed. Oh, did I? Yeah. So see how they did this when. Where did I? Oh, when it's actually this. So this is what's actually supposed to be releasing, although it does just say 2025. So like maybe, okay, maybe this is coming out at the same time as the Chaos one, which that I'm okay with. I thought it was so dumb that they were like, yo, Imp Knights. And I was like, well, where's the Chaos Knights? You guys aren't really doing anything new with either. Pretty sure you could probably just drop both. But I guess since they didn't really set dates, they could easily be like, yeah, Imp Knights over here as well. So yeah. So here's the thing. There is a lot of theming that feels very Minotaur-esque, which is kind of interesting. Like a lot of nose rings. Almost everything we've seen have had hoof shoes. They do the zebra printing on all of that for the classic hair metal. It's a lot of stuff just clashing. But you could almost have a lot of fun with like trying to get helmets for these guys that have like the forward-facing Minotaur horns. It could be kind of cool because these guys are like weirdly bulky at times. But even Lucius, I think, has hooves, right? Where's the standard Lucius picture? Yeah, that's a hoof right there. They all have hooves. Which, I'm saying Minotaur, but they're definitely doing it because it's satyr. And satyrs are usually that idea of excess. So theming-wise, it's not bad. But yeah. Oh, he doesn't have a hoof. He has a hoof there, I think. Yeah, that's a hoof. That's like an armored hoof. Oh, that's not a hoof. He doesn't have a hoof. They're kind of shaped like a hoof, but not completely a hoof. Whips, though. Hoofs and whips. I don't like how close to a Infernal Master this looks. It's throwing me off a little bit. No, yeah, Lucius is great. I didn't pull him up. I kind of wish they did more with the faces on like random parts of his armor, but maybe that would have overdone it. That probably could have overdone it. I like this. Where is this? I think this is on his backpack. This is part of the drug rack on his backpack. A lot of nice shapes. I love the tongue whip detail. That's pretty cool. I love that this. I love this. Just this. This is great. The sword looks nice. I like. There's a lot of swords that the Emperor's Children models have that are just like it's a rapier, which is not normal in 40k. Like I think rogue traders have them occasionally, but like you don't normally see it. And he's just like, yeah, I got one. My Fulgrim has one. I think my Fulgrim has two, actually. Oh, Huron. Yeah, when's Huron coming out? Probably after the Iron Warriors drop with Perturabo, right? No, Robert, I mean, it's the whole reason I have. I mean, it's the whole reason I'm working on my transfigured Fulgrim. I got this guy after they showed the new Fulgrim. I prefer that. I prefer what he looks like there. I'm actually kind of happy that the battle box doesn't come with Fulgrim. It was actually kind of my biggest fear was that this thing was going to come with Fulgrim. Because I was like, I'm going to have two Fulgrims. But since it's just a Lord and then a bunch of on-foot units, that's actually not bad. So I'm already in a good place now. I'm in a good starting place. We know that the vehicles I'm going to need are probably going to be Land Raiders. So I might need to look into possibly getting my hands on one or two of those. And then we can try to paint job them up as well. I don't know if this paint job is going to look good on Land Raiders. That's the thing. I feel like well before the release of this box, they need to announce that demons are going to be in these codexes. Because if they do that, if they actually go, hey, the Keeper Secrets and Demonettes, they're in here. You can use them. Next day, I'm going to have a Keeper of Secrets. If they say Shalaxi is able to be picked up on this team, not as an ally, but as an actual, it can be part of your team character, I'll have a Shalaxi. I'll have a Shalaxi. I'll have a friggin' Keeper Secrets. We're in. I'm good. Maybe I'll pick up a couple extra demons. It'll be great. But I feel like they need to tell us sooner rather than later, which they won't. To be clear, They won't. It is 100% something they should do. They will not do it. If they did it, they would see a massive surge. An absolutely massive surge in sales. I don't think they did. I don't think they've specifically said out loud demons are going to be in these. I think it's mostly rumor territory. But that's the thing. If it is Games Workshop, fuck you, give us your money, they would tell us right now. They'd be like, by the way, buy demons. Just straight up. If they were just like, buy demons right now, do it. I'm going to Games Workshop Saturday to play a game of Kill Team. I would be walking out of there with a Keeper of Secrets. 100%. Yeah, no, I'm the same way with Tzeentch. I have way too many demons for Tzeentch. I'm planning on getting 9 more Screamers and potentially 9 more Flamers. No. 12. 12 of each. Oh my god. And that's the problem. If they announce it right at drop, they are going to cause the biggest problem for supply chain ever. Is just because if they announce it, they're going to announce it here. The first of these books that gets actually talked about or dropped, that's when it happens. If straight up they decide to reveal something from one of these, just randomly, they're like, oh, by the way, we're going to talk to you about World Eaters. World Eaters can use demons directly in the book. That's going to cause a ripple effect with Death Guard, Emperor's Children, and Thousand Sons. Immediately, if you don't have demons, you're going to be picking them up. Because Death Guard to have immediate access to things like Nurglings and like Plague Bearers and stuff, that's cool. They already have a ton of great models. To add extra stuff, fantastic. Thousand Sons, demons, if demons, like I've been saying, interact with our rules, they're going to fill so many really just not great holes in our army for fodder. Fodder that's mobile. Fodder that can just be weird places. And technically, with the changes they made to the Screamers, we would actually have a really good melee unit. Like, I would try to take a squad of 6 Screamers in every Thousand Sons list I have, because that would just be on the field with a Rapid Ingress, go through a wall, and kill a tank. Every time. They wouldn't need... Well, they got rid of the summoning, I think. There's no summoning function anymore with demons. Disciples of Tzeentch, you just have them. There's no element of summoning at all. And with them, it would just be Deep Strike, which means you would use the points to put... I think you can take half your army in Deep Strike, I want to say. I think it's half or a quarter. I'm pretty sure it's half. So you could just put them there. I don't think Be'lakor. Be'lakor wouldn't be in any of these. Be'lakor would be demon specific. No, yeah, they got rid of the summoning for Thousand Sons at least. Not Disciples of... There's the word. Disciples of Tzeentch. They got rid of summoning, which is good. The emulation of it is that the Lord of Change for the cost of a Fate dice can bring back half-size squad of demons. That's about the main difference. But yeah, I wish they would tell us, because again, I'm going to a game Saturday. I'm thinking Chaos Cults. I'm thinking I'm going to play Chaos Cults and Kill Team at that. Oh, good luck. Thousand Sons are great. But if you're planning on collecting the demons, know this. One of the last major tournaments I saw for AOS, Disciples of Tzeentch took 2nd place. Since then, I have not been able to purchase a single thing of demons I've wanted off of the Games Workshop site. Although you live next to, as you said, Warhammer World, so you'll probably be okay with it. I think the Blooded are cool, but remember, it's a 1-year team. If you're planning on playing competitive, don't do it. Maybe. Or don't. I don't. Blooded, right? Like, they're cool. They're interesting. I like how they kind of work as sort of the, oh, I might kill my own ally kind of situation. Like, they're fun in ways. We'll have to see after the data slate. Honestly, if you're planning on getting into a team, wait for the data slate, which should be soon. Are you going to try to sculpt a shoulder pad? We were talking in our Discord not that long ago. There's a medium you can put on surfaces for the models that let you watercolor on it. The next big night I'll get, I kind of want to use that medium on its shoulder pads and do watercolor murals of like a disciple of, or a Lord of Change doing something. And maybe on the other shoulder, like Ahriman casting a spell or something. I think it'd be really cool. But yeah, Disciples of Tzeentch took second at a tournament. I can't seem to get demons anymore. It was the same thing with Mutalith Vortex Beasts. People were talking about how in 9th, Mutalith Vortex Beasts were basically necessary if you played Thousand Suns. So I could never find them. They were actually sold out for a year in the United States. They were gone. Well, we are winding down. It is 2:30 in the morning for me. This was interesting. These were interesting reveals. Not incredible. We didn't get a new kill team reveal, which is okay. Still holding out hope. Oh, thank you. Let me give you your rank because I am too lazy to get a bot to do this. I probably should at some point, but I kind of like doing this. There you go. Yeah, we should all fucking sleep, Goblin. God. I'm hoping Tyrannid. The thing is, the issue is this is like an I've been hurt before situation. I'm hearing rumblings of Tyrannid from like looking around at random, I've heard stuff like that. Just in general, this is like the 10th time this has happened. So it needs to happen is what I'm going to say. It needs to. We need it. I really hope it ends up being like, seriously, if they're gonna release a team that subverts expectations, it needs to be a squad of 6 Shrieks. Needs to be a squad of 6 Shrieks because they use Kill Team to launch, like relaunch models and relaunch squad types. And honestly, every single time I talk to anyone, they're like, man, Shrieks just haven't... They haven't done anything with Shrieks. No one has Shrieks. Like, no one cares about Shrieks. Why would anyone want Shrieks? The alpha is a Shriek. That's it. Like, you get one alpha. You don't need the rest of the Shrieks. What if the Shrieks dropped? And I think it would be cool to have an elite Tyrannid team of Shrieks. Maybe they get, like, a couple little, like, BS small base characters. I mean, you're in the area for it, Robert. It sounds like. I'm kind of in the area for it. I think all the good tournaments that occur for it are like an hour and a half away from me. It's a great game. I love it. Shrikes. I don't play Tyrannid, man. I don't play Tyrannid. And we did literally just listen to a bunch of British people pronounce CH 2 different ways today. So... It's got to be that, though, because it could be, they could have some heavy weapon users, melee users. I feel like that's where it needs to be. You have an alpha, and then you have the squad, and that's it. Could be cool. And then the hope is Grey Knights. What they could do is, because the Vet Guard are going to be fading out after a year, which... I think we're about halfway through, right? We're halfway through the cycle at this point. I think it's halfway now, right? God, when did I paint those Vespid? We're either a third of the way through or halfway through. If the Vet Guard are going out, they could be like, oh, by the way, Catachin. And then there could just be a lot of units in the Catachin that are easily like connectable to Vet Guard. At which point you could be like, oh, it's not that bad. I still kind of have my units, which would be nice. It's only for competitive as of right now. I mean, next rulebook we'll probably see a lot of teams just completely vanish. Which means I'm trying to think of what to do with the teams that actually fully vanish. Like when the rules absolutely change for whatever the next iteration of Kill Team is. I have no clue. Like, unless I can repurpose them for other teams that pop up, maybe I just take them to one of the local stores and have them sell them. But that's the thing, because within that universe, within that realm of gaming, we have things like the Nemesis Claw. The Nemesis Claw are exactly like the Legionary. The Legionary and the Nemesis Claw were exactly like the Plague Marines. So, like, there's an element where you can kind of just build a list and go. Like, someone in our Discord. What was it? You? No. Was it? Mini Whips. Scroll. Grotskull. Grotskull dropped the image he did, the image they did of the Guavessa Aquilons, where it's basically Aquilons, but it's Tau armor. You could easily reuse these models. They could expand this line of like visual aesthetic characters. Here, let me just pull them up so you guys can see them. This is kind of the way to do it. Like, this is peak Kill Team. You make the customs so that down the road when new teams come out that have bases that are about this size, you can go, oh, I'm just going to use these as that. And then if you have enough conceptual and potential parts on hand to go, okay, let me add this type of unit. Let me add this type of unit. And then let me add this type of unit. And the next thing you know, you have like just operatives that can be rotated in that will allow you to play them as a bunch of different things. Like, this is just a heavy weapons unit. This and this are two variants of some kind of long barrel sniper unit. But, like, let's say the Catachins drop and they have a leader with a sword, maybe a dagger unit. Maybe they go pistols. Maybe they don't. Maybe they go more on the heavies and rifles. You just swap it out. I think Glass Half Dead did an elite team that was Tau themed. So it's like heavy Tau armor, but with like, and then just Tau heads, and they look like Space Marines almost. And he has Icon Bearer. He has a bunch of heavy weapon variants. He has a bunch of melee variants. He has a bunch of different basic variants, all on 32 mils. So the next big team, like, he could run them as Nemesis Claw if he wanted. I think he said he was running them as Phobos, but he could run them as Nemesis. He could run them as Legionary. He could run them with a couple additional characters as Death Guard. And you just run them. Yeah, if you can match your Blooded to Brood Brothers, go for it. Once the Blooded get faded out, you have Brood Brothers. Who cares? Just know the base sizes. Because if you're Blooded, you could even theme the things you're getting as chaosy, right? Like, you don't have to buy the Magus. You don't have to buy the Patriarch. You can theme them within the chaos realm to be like, here we are. This is what I get. This is what I'm going to use. You can find a really cool looking big demon creature and be like, that's my patriarch. And then here's all my blooded as brood brothers. So this is how peak, in my opinion, peak kill team is played. Not really. Well, I mean, yes and no. Psychic Familiars, because it's just a base size. Oh, no, they're actually not. Where is he? Chaos, Dark. What was he called? Dark Apostle. You could probably get a smaller base. Get smaller bases for all of these. Magus. Psychic Familiars. What other things do you play, though? Because for me, I could, well, if I planned for it better, I could run two tiny bases of the one-off brimstones. Yeah, but this makes it so that you're not designing them for advantage, right? Like, they're big. Oh, dude, wait, do the Dark Angels, do they sell those the little watchers? Do they sell them separately or in a cheap fashion where you can just get them? That could be cool. Oh yeah, Switch 2. That's part of the world of what I do for editing otherwise. So there's going to be a news post going up, I think tomorrow. I mean, we already talked about it getting revealed today. But yeah, again, 2:48 in the morning. I really need to get some sleep. Thanks for hanging out, guys. This was actually fun. This is also going to be highly rare just to anyone who popped in or is still here and is like, oh man, these will be great going forward. I edit at night. You guys are lucky this happened. Like, straight up, you guys are super lucky this happened. Because, but yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chilling. Hopefully we can get back to streaming for the hobby stuff soon. But like I said, I'm waiting on the rest of the power stuff so that we can try to get these UV LEDs in. Now that we've seen Fulgrim next to things, I'm pretty sure the base is the right size, so we'll just get working on it. Get some rest to anyone where it is night. Other than that, have a good day. Till next time, guys. Later.